Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope we always do. My name is Raheem, not too important, but I want to talk to the people that are important. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
Leonard, you know where we're going today, man. We got a topic.
I don't know where you're going today.
Man, we got a topic we're gonna start with this morning.
What's today?
Friday. Yes, sir. You know
Today is actually Friday, huh?
yes, sir. And not only is the day Friday, we done made it through the whole week, and three had to be what three of the 4 of the 5 days. We started right at 7 o'clock.
You're doing very well. You should take yourself out today.
I am. Look, I'm gonna go to McDonald's and buy myself one French fry and a cube of ice. Buy myself one French fry. I said I need one French fry and a cube of ice. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Stop.
But
Broadcast to Facebook.
Yes, sir. It should be on there already. It's not on there yet.
Okay. I don't see it yet.
Oh, okay. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, sure.
Because we want to make sure that we share the show and everyone listening online shares the show as well.
Exactly. And we're gonna talk this morning. We're gonna talk this morning about a topic we started. I think we started on Wednesday. We started it on Wednesday, and it's about the body, your body, her body, y'all's body,
All over each other's bodies. Remember that song?
all over.
Yeah. Don't even worry about it. Go ahead.
Oh no, boy! I was about to. Boy.
Don't break it down. Don't break it down for us.
Yeah, I was about to go there now.
I know. You was
don't
be
take
wide
me long.
open with it too.
But Leonard, husband and wife, and husband and wife, and the way it is, in the way that is written, they submit to each other, and it would technically, the way that it's written is she should submit to her husband, and a husband should love the wife like Christ loved the church. And so there's a level of commitment there. Submission, does that also include, and let me give the phone number just in case people want to call in, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521, asking the question, should that include sexual activities? Now, if one of them want to have sex and the other one do not want to have sex or indulge in sexual activities, is there an obligation there? Go ahead, Leonard.
There's definitely an obligation.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't always have to oblige people.
Mm-hmm.
You should. And one, if it becomes an issue, it is a reason to separate from one another.
Wow.
Why would I want to be with you if you don't please me? Why? Why?
Wow.
You don't have to do nothing you really don't want to do. You really don't.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's some other reason than the occasional, I'm tired, I don't feel like it, or what have you, sit down there and renegotiate that commitment quickly.
So you would say that's grounds for divorce?
Yes.
Wow. What about the other areas? What if everything else is perfect?
Well, that's for that couple to weigh, and that person making that decision to weigh.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's your decision. And if it's that big of a problem, then your marriage is about to fail. If you don't have some understanding, your marriage is going to fail. The Bible warns you of this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that you have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you choose. You're God on this. You choose. This is your part of your dominion.
Mm-hmm.
You choose. Don't put God in this. You choose.
So you got so many different elements in a marriage. You got so many different. Oh, the phone number 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. You have so many different elements. Have so many different elements that makes up a marriage.
Hmm.
And there's so many different things that have to be done. There's so many different sacrifices and compromises that have to be made to make a successful marriage. And communication is a huge part of it. So I do agree with you
Hmm.
when you say that you definitely have to communicate. Y'all have to talk
Yes.
about it. But
Yes.
my thing is, Leonard, would you divorce? Should one divorce? Should it get to that point?
I would. I would. Because I'm about being satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why should I? Why? What? If you're not pleasing me, why would
Mm-hmm.
I want to be with you?
Mm. But again, they can be pleasing you in other areas. Everything else could be
Then it's
perfect.
not a problem. Then you wouldn't make you would it would it that wouldn't bother you at all. Then, if it wasn't a problem.
But I ain't gonna say it won't bother me. But I'm just saying some.
Like I'm saying, if it's not a problem, it's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make it one.
Mm.
If it's not a problem, then your relationship is just fine. If it's not a problem,
Mm.
what's the problem then?
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. If you all are not, and they say when you become married, you become one, two becomes one. And so does that mean that their body now belongs to you? And whenever you have an itch or an inkling to have adult activities, are they obligated to give it to you? Are they
Well, that's what you took that oath for.
Mm-hmm.
Many of you, you took an oath to do that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You took vows. That's what vows are about.
Does does it and I don't know, man. I don't know because not trying to put my business out there, but I don't have any issues. But my thing is this right here: should that weigh that much though? Should the sexual part, should that weigh that much on the marriage?
Why are you to? Well, it depends on why you're together. If
Mm-hmm.
you've come together and you're young, you're mating.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
your mate. That's who you choose to reproduce with.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you chose to select and enjoy and to only do this with.
Mm-hmm. Got one of my buddies, man. Richard Graves. Richard Graves, I just sent you the link, brother. Or if you can't call in 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Come join us, brother. Want to get your input on this as well, man, because y'all brothers, man, y'all brothers are rough, man. Y'all ready to throw your wives away because they ain't giving up let me be politically correct. The sexual activities. Let me say it that way. That's that. And ladies, I need to hear from you. If you're with a
Women
man,
are just as insistent.
wow, wow,
Women are, see, this is the issue.
wow.
It's this whole thing where you all were taught, and women were taught how to play this game very well too.
Mm-hmm.
That it's
Mm-hmm.
always the man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that. Think about men who are older in age,
Mm-hmm.
who may not be able to perform, or people with ED or what have you. You think men aren't being left because of that?
Mm.
You think men aren't being divorced because of that?
Mm. That's deep, there, brother.
I'm
That's
just saying, and you get to a point where if you're not communicating about it, this is the issue. You can make an agreement with your spouse because some things happen.
mm-hmm.
So it's not that you bow down to me, you do this. No, it's not like that at all. If the two of you can come to an agreement, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But do understand, that absence gives way to evil to creep into your marriage.
Now that I do agree. I do agree on that because and the old saying goes, what you won't do, somebody else will. And a
That's
lot.
just that's a threat.
Yeah, it is. It is. But sometimes people take ownership of that, man, and they roll in their direction. They
Right.
do just that.
The devil will help you do whatever you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's not that this is. is a the major, I think, issue is the fact that women are going to impose them being females on this subject.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to keep it where it's rendering due benevolence to one another.
Yeah, yeah. And James, he just text me. He said, man, I would love. I'm sorry, I said James. Richard said, man, I would love to. Cause he said, I'm literally just walking into my job right now. He said he would love to be a part of this conversation. But we do have Monique. Monique, good morning. How you
Good
doing this?
morning.
Good morning.
Monique, you walked into one this morning, sis. I gotta hear you. I gotta hear because Leonard is making it out like this sex thing is enough if it's not implemented into the marriage in the right way or as often as one would like, it's enough for divorce. Now, when
Hmm.
two people become married, they say that they become one. Does that include each other's body? And if you don't feel like it, even for a stretch of time, if you don't feel like it, is it your right or are you obligated to do what it is that your partner wants to do to keep them satisfied? What do you say to that?
Well, first I'm gonna say I've never been married,
Mm-hmm.
but I've had this conversation a lot,
Mm-hmm.
um, and and actually most of my friends are,
Mm-hmm.
and
Come on. Come on. This grown folk talk today now. Come on.
I'm kind of conflicted a little bit because I believe that if she doesn't want to have sex, then it's okay. Now I will admit if to where it's you know, out of 7 days and four of those days I got a headache or I don't feel like it,
Mm,
I can see where, there might be a problem.
that's an issue.
But I think right, right. But I don't think that well the Bible, in a way kind of saying that you know, obligated. That's how I took it because I just actually read it, a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's pretty much saying that you obligated to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it's more so it's leaning more towards the woman is obligated to the man a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if she doesn't want to do it, then she's within her right.
But like Leonard said, and I do agree with him here. If she decides that she don't want to do it, and it's been a stretch of time, and he have his needs, um, she could really be opening up the door for other people to come in there and and take her obligations for her. Do you agree with that?
It depends. Is it no, I don't agree with
Come on now.
is it consistently? You gotta look at the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta ask: is there something going on? Am I doing something wrong? Because sometimes with men, so, let me not get on my soapbox, but I think with some guys, they think they kind of be very repetitious with things. And sometimes when women get older, you can't do the same thing that you 2 3 years ago. You have to change it up, and someone not be comfortable with telling their man, even if it is their husband, that hey, I don't like when you do that. Can you do this? And some women rather opt out of the situation,
Mm.
versus telling him he need to change up his stroke or his touch or or whatever.
Well, see,
So I think,
that's
huh?
to me, that's where communication come in. That's why you have to communicate with each other. But to totally just cut them off and say, you ain't getting no more. You ain't do it right last week, so you ain't getting none this week. And they cut him off. That's a little.
And
Go ahead.
and women are emotional too, because sex we have to be emotionally connected, and and that fluctuate with some women, because she could be. feeling some kind of way about something that he did, and he might not even know he did it, but she's still not emotionally connected. Some women need to talk all the time with their man, and some men, oh, you talk too much. I need time. Where that woman is not connected. You
Mm.
know, for us, it's an emotional thing as well too.
But see, my thing is this: I would think, and I'm so silly to think this way, and I could be totally wrong. But if you to the point where you're married, excuse me, husband and wife, y'all should have went through a lot of different situations and scenarios, and being able to deal with each other and know how each other operate in a certain way. And you should have know each other, and know how you operate. Now, am I sitting here saying that you should have sex before you get married and all that stuff? I'm not gonna outright say that, but at the same time, it happens in the real world. It does happen a lot, and so people, they pretty much know what they're getting. They know what they're getting, and to say, to use an excuse, if you will, to say that, well, you didn't touch my, I didn't like. Well, I've been touching you like that for years. I mean, what's the difference? You liked it. You liked it when I did it before. What? And then see, some men. I don't get it. Some men are so insensitive within themselves. They start thinking that if you don't like the way I'm there, what are you comparing it to? Who else is touching you? And so it's so many different things tied into this thing, man. Women feel that way too. They think that see, I've heard women say, well, if he ain't giving it to me, he giving it to somebody, and that's that insecurity. That's another insecurity right there, and it's not good. Talk to him. Ask him a question. Are you? Are you, Tiffany? Good
But
morning. Go ahead, sis. Go
the
ahead.
thing is, even if you ask the question,
Mm-hmm.
is he really being honest? About it. But just to go back to what you said in reference to, I used to touch you that way before. Something, things change over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, you might have touched me this way, for a year or two, but now that doesn't do anything for me.
Mm.
Now we need to go in a different route. you
See that?
know with women, we change. And then I will admit, I've seen some cases where some women go along to get along. If,
Mm-hmm.
if this was gonna get me to where I need to be, if this gonna get me a husband, I'm gonna do whatever he want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get married, then I'm gonna switch it up a little bit.
Mm. Mm.
So I mean, I've seen that happen before.
That's that's
But
gameplay right there.
women change, our body changes.
Okay, good deal.
So you can't do the
Monique.
same thing you
Now,
did,
now,
3 years ago.
now, Monique. I gotta go to
and,
somebody
and
else.
then you have to
Monique.
emotionally and mentally, connect. The
Monique.
older you get, and
Monique.
I'm in my 50s.
Monique.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I'm just talking.
Yo.
That's probably why she couldn't hear you because
Oh,
you was getting
Tiffany's.
ready to get stuck. It's going in and out for me.
It is.
So now
Can
it's
you hear
back.
now?
It's back now.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, my screen just buffed for a second or two, so that's
Hmm.
maybe what fixed it. Tiffany, real good morning. How you doing this morning?
I've been in the studio all night, you know, working, but I'm good. What's
Okay,
up?
now we asking this question. We asking this question. Husband and wife, they become married. They're husband and wife now, and it said that two becomes one. You become one. You become one individual, and if one individual, that includes your bodies. If the man or the woman, because it goes both ways. If one want to have adult activities and the other one don't, if the person that don't want to have it, are they obligated to fulfill those obligations, those needs that the other person have? Are they obligated?
Yeah, they obligated. You're my person. We're one. So if I want some, you want some. Let's get it on. You know what I'm saying? Because if if we're in this monogamous relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who we gonna get it from? If I'm not sick, if I'm not on my menses, we getting it on. I don't know why, we use sex as a weapon and then all those examples that I heard the young lady speak about. I mean, like, who are you married to? Are you married to a stranger? Like, why wouldn't you want to? And I'm a woman. I get emotional, but I ain't never been emotional enough to where I didn't want to be with my man, except my ex-husband, of course. So that means I was fornicating in my lifetime. But if you're with somebody that you care about and you guys are in sync, you're attracted to the person you're with. I would hope you would be with somebody that you're attracted to. And one thing don't mean I can be mad at you and lay with you because you're the person that I love. You're the person that, you know what I'm saying? I like your touch. Sometimes you can be upset and that might be the thing to, loosen you back up. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why women use sex as a weapon, like, and they get mad if they step out. Like, what is a man supposed to do? And even in a situation like, what was that lady's name? BB something. She had Alzheimer's disease. So the husband got
I
the
know.
woman. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of the name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
he was with that white woman, and people were tripping, talking about, oh, he's cheating on her and stuff like that. The lady had Alzheimer's disease. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't they look at it as he has a woman that's there for him? Yes, but they're both taking care of this woman, making sure this woman is taken care of. You know what I'm saying? They looking at it, all they thinking about is the sex thing instead of thinking about, she has an extra caregiver. And sometimes we so stuck in a box when we need to look at the bigger picture. But as a woman, I don't think it's right to withhold your goodies from your man and then expect him to just be faithful because he's married to you, because he made a commitment to you. Or you want your man, you better give it up, because if you don't give it up, somebody else will. It's happily.
Now, see, there's a lot of different layers that I can look at that scenario that you gave. Yeah, it was and it's just me talking. Everybody got their own perspective on it. But to me, yes, she had another caregiver, but that lady was not only the caregiver to her, but she was also a caregiver to him, because it started one way, and then when they crossed that certain line, I think that was wrong. I don't think they should have done that.
But the thing is, Raheem, you don't know the conversation that they may have had.
Exactly.
You don't
That's
know
fair.
the conversation.
That's fair.
Because I'm gonna tell you, because I say this, I have a friend of mine, and when I met him, his wife had terminal cancer, been to hospice several times. You know what I'm saying? She's not physically able to have relations with him. You know what I'm saying? She's still alive, thank God. You know what I'm saying? But she's not able to because of her medical condition. So because she's not able, his needs are supposed to disappear because she can't have sex. So therefore, you don't know the type of conversations people have. If I was in a situation where I couldn't perform or whatever, I would give my as long as he's taking care of me and making sure I'm good, go get Jimmy Wax. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Because, but you got to understand though, and I know you and know that you will feel that way, but not everybody walk in that lane. I understand what you're saying.
Even in the Bible, and I may be saying it wrong because I'm not Bible literate, but when homegirl couldn't have a baby, she gave her slave girl to her husband and had a baby. And then after that, she ended up getting pregnant or whatever the story was. You know what I'm saying? You can't make a man suffer because you can't perform. That's not right.
Hey, and like I say, everybody got the way they feel about it. I can't say that your way is wrong, nor can you say mine. It's just the way we feel. Leonard, what's on your heart?
No, like I said, I think you're gonna get different opinions, just like with Tiffany's opinion. But one, if you leave it to the point of it's always on the woman, that's where I have an issue with. Because I've heard about this issue quite a bit with men.
Look at Mr. Foley.
More so than necessary.
Watch this. Look at Mr. Foley from Three's Company. He ain't never want to do it. She was hot and ready. Mr. Foley,
Man, you just said these companies. Like that's an issue.
Mr.
That's
Foley,
an
Mr.
issue.
Foley,
But
if you,
that's
man,
an
Mr. Foley
actual
be laying in
issue.
the bed. Yeah. Hey, Leonard, Mr. Foley be laying in the bed looking at TV, reading a book, man. As soon as you come, oh, Mr. Foley, no, man. And she was hot and ready. She was ready all the time. She was a firecracker. She was ready, bro. Go ahead, Leonard. We gonna go to
The man's name isn't it Furley?
Yeah, whatever his name was, the one that wouldn't give his wife no. The one that wouldn't give his wife no. What's his name? What name? No, well, Folky, wasn't it?
I thought it was Miss Furley.
I thought it was Folky. I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them. Curtis, good morning.
Mr. Furley.
One of y'all going to look it up. Y'all gonna look it up for me. Y'all gonna fact check it. Curtis.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? Family, how y'all doing? Y'all sound like y'all busting up right now.
Man, look at here. It's that conversation we said we was gonna have today, man. We dedicating the whole broadcast to it, man. Two people are married, and it says when they become married, they become one. And as one, are they obligated to fulfill the other person's sexual desires and sexual needs? If you don't feel like it, or it's your spouse, or if vice versa, are they obligated to fulfill your needs sexually, even if you don't feel like it? What do you say to that?
No, that ain't no answer, Kurt.
Well, look at
you laugh after you tell us a joke, Kurt. Tell us a joke first, Kurt.
Okay, you better satisfy them needs. You go fire yourself by yourself. Just try to tell you.
He just tickled to death.
So,
exactly. Look, just killing airtime. Just killing airtime. Come on, Kurt.
None of us are obligated to do anything outside of what we need to do. But if you feel like you do not have that need to do, then I need you to also understand. I want you to understand that your lack of need will soon become your most grievous of wants, because you will find yourself by yourself. That's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not no relationship expert or nothing like that, but I think Tiffany was right. If I heard her correctly, I think she was dead.
Okay.
You better find a way.
Yeah, exactly. And see, I could agree with that, but me and Leonard was talking when he and I on here, and he said pretty much what you're saying right now, that a lot of times if you don't do it, it can end up in divorce. And I should weigh that much. Well, if you and that person y'all are good in all other areas, I don't know if it should weigh that much to the point whereas it becomes a divorce situation. But not everybody feel the way I feel. Like I said, everybody got their own.
Kidding me?
Why share a bed? Why? The whole point of the matter is sharing a bed.
For sickness and health, good and bad, and all this and all that stuff.
Come on, man.
I didn't hear the obligation was you have to fulfill every one of my sexual needs, and if you don't, then I have the right to divorce your behind.
Well, see how it worked out for you.
I didn't see that.
How it worked out for you.
Like I said, I ain't got that problem. I ain't worried about that. But
I'm a little bit more disciplined about it.
Like
I said, I'm big on communication.
Yeah.
So you should know why. You should know why. Because I don't care what nobody say. I had a best friend. I was living my best life, enjoying myself. But see, my friend is a dude. So I needed another friend with a vagina. That friend is a little different, bro.
Very much different. Very much different. Very much. Woo! Look. Woo! Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Oh, man, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. Welcome to a beautiful new day, people.
Hey, welcome to you as well, brother. Welcome to you, man. You know where we at, Rico. I said we was gonna have this conversation today. You told me I was gonna forget, but here we are. We here.
You stuck to your word.
Are they obligated, Rico? If you would you're married and you have a high desire, and she don't have desires not that high, and it's been a couple of weeks. Oh, hold on now. Is she obligated to give it up to satisfy your needs, or should you be just a little bit more patient, just a little bit more patient? What do you say to that, Rico?
To a certain extent, she is. I mean, once again, this is another situation where human beings have to have some type of understanding and reasoning behind the situation being the way it is. She might be cheating. You got some women that they cheat, but they still at the same time don't want to sleep with two different dudes, so they'll stall their husband out.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they want to wait a couple of days in between because he's gonna be able to tell the difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He maybe she don't want that husband to be able to tell the difference, but she want to keep him because he's the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He could take her and do things with her that no other man can do. He can provide things for her that no other man can. So she might feel obligated, but she's torn.
Mm-hmm.
So in the process of her being obligated, she's gonna keep on doing it. She might take that chance, But if she lets him know it's just to the point to where he knows she's just avoiding it, he got to ask some questions.
Mm-hmm.
He got to ask some questions. Is it me? Have you got somebody else? Have you got somebody else because I can't fulfill you? I mean, what is it? And the thing is sometimes men and women both have to check themselves and see if they've gotten comfortable, because we can stop doing the things we did at first, lose interest, and just get to the reward so fast to the point to where the other person is never getting fulfilled. Are they supposed to just completely keep putting up with that? So I mean, there's different reasons and scenarios that you have to put in place before you say somebody is obligated. Now, if she's just doing it to be nasty, ain't nothing wrong with her. She's just being.
Did we lose Rico and did we lose Raheem? Yes. So once Raheem reboots, he'll go ahead and come back. But people call in 508-924-3521, especially if you having issues or want to talk about or you have a question for anybody on the line. I'm going to speak with my man Raheem going back. It's definitely that relationship.
Mm-hmm. So I look at it like that, man. I mean, you have to have some reason. I can remember one time, man, I had this girlfriend, man. She was so bad. I wouldn't even intend for her to be my girlfriend. I was gonna take her to the strip club. This was during the time stripping had gotten popular. I said, well, you strip club quality. You're gonna go over here to Atlanta and take over.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the plan, but she was too fine for me to shy. I couldn't let her out my sight, so I tried. We ended up being in a relationship. Lasted a long time. She was a good girl.
Mm-hmm.
Good that she didn't even go and try that. That was just a thought, I guess. But one time, I mean, we lived in two different cities. One time she was coming to see me. I went to meet her, and I had already had my mind set. Ooh, when she get down here, man, wow, it's fixing to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went and got me a little extra help. I took me a Viagra.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna make sure, man. When they met her, escorted her to my home, and on the way, somebody ran through the median and T-boned her. Totaled her car out. She was a little sore, man. And don't get me wrong, I was completely concerned about her, but that Viagra didn't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta play doctor. You know what I'm saying? I had to do some healing and consoling. And you know what I'm saying? The whole time I'm just sitting there with a blood rush going through I like to lost it. But I couldn't hold her and say she was obligated, even though she wasn't my wife.
Yeah.
I couldn't have that expectation that she was supposed to go and withstand her injuries, ignore them just to please me.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's a selfish move. So So that's why I say, man, you have to have some understanding and reasoning on why you're not having the sex. Because just saying she's obligated, you might not be doing your job to deserve it. You might be running around here cheating with 3 or 4 women and then trying to come back and bring it home to her too. She ain't got to put up with that.
Exactly. But man, it's so many different layers on this thing, man. We're gonna turn a few pages as we go along. But Tiffany, what's on your heart? Tiffany, hit the mute button. There you go, right there. Hit that right there. You're almost there. You're almost there. Hit that button right there. There you go.
Okay.
What's
What's the
what's
question?
what? No, it was just saying what's on your heart about this whole situation, man? Because there's a lot of different layers on this thing in regards to the obligation. Should you be obligated? And I know how you feel because you voiced how you feel that you are obligated, but there could be some kind of situations in place that maybe you can't at that moment, and maybe it's been about 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm not being with no man that's withholding the deed from
No,
me.
no, 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 no. I meant there could be some kind of physical, like with Rico, there was a physical situation where he had to be understanding. He had already taken his helper, but and the helper gonna kick in, but she wasn't able because she was in a car wreck. And so,
Okay, if
what are you
that's
to do?
if you're injured, if you're sick, I don't expect you to do it. But
Mm-hmm,
if you are an able-bodied individual, most men wake up with an erection every morning. So
mm-hmm,
therefore, if it ain't for me, he better let it be because I'm not with that.
mm-hmm,
Because if we're together, we're joined together. You're my man, I'm your woman. I want to be with my man, and I would think my
mm-hmm,
man would want to be with me. And if he
mm-hmm,
don't, or if I don't, there's a problem.
mm-hmm.
There's a problem because that's a part of being with somebody. Who's gonna
Yeah.
get to? Oh, I'm gonna be celibate. You gonna be celibate. We just gonna be here. That ain't your man. That ain't your partner. That's your friend, your
That's your
homie. I
friend.
don't
Yeah,
have to be
yeah.
married to you to do
Mm-hmm,
the same things that I do with my friends.
mm-hmm.
I want to do that body talk. So if you injure, but even if you injured in some cases, there's other things that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give it up if you're gonna be with me. Period, point blank. Cause I'm gonna give it up.
Yeah, I swear I love this girl. I swear I love this woman. I love you, Tiffany.
Mm-hmm. Let me go to we got another caller. Hold on for a minute. Mute your line there, Kurt, because you got all kind of sound effects going on back there, brother. Kurt on fire this morning. Leonard, what's wrong with your brother, man?
Yeah, that's Kurt.
Let's go. We got another caller. Who we got here? We got hold on. We got Toussaint with us. Oh Lord, y'all put your seatbelt on. Ain't no telling what you're about to get. Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning? Talk to me, brother. Are you obligated? Is she obligated? What's the whole
Good
situation here?
morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Oh, he's setting us up, y'all. Yeah, we're doing good. Go ahead, go on in, man. We don't need that little softening. What you about to say?
I'm talking about the honest 45, 50-year-old raising hell about 3 minutes.
This dude said 3 minutes.
Bust your
Lord
bubble.
Jesus.
Anyway, so what we talking about right here?
When you become husband and wife, you're married. You're not boyfriend and girlfriend. You're husband and wife. You're married. Two becomes one is what it said. Does that also include your bodies? Because if one don't feel like it, and it's been a minute, are they obligated? Are you obligated to please your spouse sexually, even if you don't feel like it? What do you say to that?
There's a certain degree or a scenario or whatever you want to call it to anything. There's an exception to every rule.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can't have a headache every night. The devil is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You keep on having a headache, and all of a sudden, my key don't fit no more. You go ahead. I'm just saying. Look. Let me tell you something. Here's the thing about it is. Here's another thing. My mama called me. Well, what the heck am I supposed to do with this?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Rico. What? Y'all, and let me say something else now.
Lord Jesus.
Yo, and they quit getting that aid. You don't need no help.
I'm terrified to do something like that.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
I've heard about it, but I just, oh no, I wouldn't want to do
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand
ahead,
people
man.
who have to, but you know,
I tell you what, one part may handle what your heart can't.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning? Y'all are something else.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. But we got a conversation going on this morning. Toya, got to hear your heart on this right here. Are they obligated? Husband and wife, two becomes one. Does that include the body? Does that mean that because of the fact that you feel like doing something, I don't feel like doing anything? Does that mean I got to do it anyway, or vice versa? What do you say to that?
No, does not mean you got to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We still individuals.
Mm-hmm.
We still individuals. You know, it's all good to operate by so-called guidelines of, husband and wife and all this, that, and the third. But it's another thing to actually respect somebody else's gangster.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So why would I want you to do? I don't want nobody to do something they don't want to do. I'm a helper.
Mm-hmm.
And I go above and beyond for others. So to have somebody do something that they really don't want to do, I can't get with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's the right thing to do, then okay, cool, honey, I don't know what to tell you. When it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to sex, that's a real sensitive area, especially for me. And any man that gets with me knows that that's a very sensitive area for me. But whether it's sex or anything else, you're not going to make me do nothing I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if the expectation is that I got to do something that I don't want to do because I'm your girlfriend, your wife, your mother, your auntie, your whatever, and it's pressure, then that means you're not really for me.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really for me. You for what you want. You here to satisfy your goals and your desires. And you don't care nothing about mine. And I'm not going to be bonded or bound to someone who I told them there's something that I don't want to do or I don't feel like I'm comfortable doing right now, or whatever the reason is. There's plenty of reasons. That's a natural desire to want to have sex with someone. And when you in a relationship with someone and that's blessed by a union of God, to my understanding, statistics show people who are married in the right union last longer and have better sex lives than people who are not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a more logical person. If we're doing the right things, then it's good. But if something is going on to where I don't want to interact with you sexually, then that means there's other issues and other problems, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Because that's you know what I'm saying, not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find that stuff happening, it shouldn't be a issue of forcing them to do it, but finding out what exactly is the problem that's kind of keep us from this natural act.
And see, my thing is, and one of my issues with that is not with what you said, but the situation is I want that person at their best. And if they like, I don't, okay, let's just do it. Let's just go ahead and do it. They ain't gonna be at their best. Now, it's certain things you could do along the course, despite the situation, and get them at the best. But I want them going in at their best. I don't want to have to prep and prime and all kind of stuff, and just to make sure that you're at your prep and prime.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But my thing
That's
is,
right.
I want from the start to I wanted you to be at your absolute best, and that would include you wanting to do it, and bring that noise, if you will. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother?
Next, Kurt still laughing. Next.
Exactly. I'm gonna come back to you, brother.
I ain't right. He's talking about because I want you at your absolute best.
Stop it, Kurt.
I want you at your best. Hey, look at him.
Kurt.
Look at him. Hey,
Put me in, coach. Put me in.
Put me in, coach.
Hey, call it what you call it. I want you at your best. I want you at your absolute best.
Oh my God.
Bring
it. You know what? I love you, brother. I swear I do, right? You are my big brother. You are my anchor, my boat. But don't you stop with your worry like that.
I want you at your best.
At your absolute best.
Yeah, hold on. Don't come in here playing.
But no, for real. No, for real. I can understand, like, if there are infirmities, health issues, personal problems going on that have not been discussed, and this, that, and the third. I mean, I'm not that chauvinistic or that ignorant to expect what is obviously unexpected and should not be expected, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also hear and completely agree with what Brother Reek said. If ain't nothing wrong with you, and we clicking on all cylinders like that, and all of a sudden you trying to, I used to call it you trying to negotiate with the poo-poo.
With the goodies. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You here go Mike. It's like, come and get it, Mike. No, I'm just playing. If you try to negotiate with it, or if the only reason you giving it is because you're expecting something in return, or because you want something, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You're not gonna keep him anyway, or you're not gonna keep her anyway, because eventually, I hate to say it like this, but eventually he or she is gonna come across somebody's gonna be able to do it just as well as you can, and have a demand placed on them. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not have that demand of, oh Lord, I gotta give this, or oh Lord, I gotta take that, or oh Lord, I gotta go through this. So, but if you withholding it for your own gain, I'm with Rico. Like, that's dead wrong. That's wrong, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong. You using that person. Right? Let's just call a spade a spade. You using them, or you using her, right? But I'm also with Toya, and say that, like, yo, if there's infirmities, like I had a homeboy. Well, we was homeboys. Well, we wasn't homeboys, but we was buddies.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of my battle buddies. His wife had cancer. You know what I mean? And she, like, that just wasn't in her. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't in her purview. That wasn't in a peer view. So, and then the cancer would make her completely, the treatments would make her completely tired, and this, that, and the third. And he used to come and we used to talk about it all the time, like after formation or whatever. At the end of the day, we'd be walking to the car, and you know what I mean. We have dialogue, and I'd be like, yeah, man, God, hang in there, bro. You know what I mean? But I can understand something like that, where somebody is sick. Now, if you're a man, knowing that you sick, anybody for that matter, you man or female, they know you sick. You doodling out one hole, you spitting up out the other.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're even asking you to engage in any kind of sexual interaction should tell you exactly how they feel about you. Because that's nasty.
Yeah.
It's foul, and it's not fair.
Absolutely. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
What you want me to talk to you about, Raheem?
What's on your heart, man? Talk to me. We're gonna go to Badger too. Gonna get Badger set up and ask him this question. But what's on your heart, man? There's other situations that could be in place, and that could prevent, not totally prevent, but halt your activities. Is that acceptable?
Yes. Matter of fact, you can sit down and talk about it if you want. That's what you should be doing. I don't care if you say 6 months. I need 6 months. Y'all can sit and agree to give someone 6 months if you want. But there needs to be an agreement. It needs to be an expectation. People should know. And say, for instance, there's no if, and, buts about it. The issue is married people.
Yes.
If you ain't married, you ain't got no problem. You understand what I'm saying? Because you ain't bound. So if you're bound to someone,
you can walk away.
You have to communicate and come into an agreement that both of you agree. Just like that, getting sick. Anybody that, if you married and things like that, and you've been married for any amount of time, or something just happens, for instance, and you ain't been married that long, you're married because you love one another. Sex is a part of that. So you can work and agree that, okay, you know what, until I get better, or this, that, or the other. Like you say, what if you mess around there and get in a car accident? Or something like that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But you sitting up here talking about not tonight, and don't nobody know why you not doing it tonight. Okay, you don't want to do it tonight, I understand. Then tomorrow you don't want to do it. Then the next day you don't want to do it. Then blah blah blah. Man, come on. Come on. Life is too good for that. It's just too good for that. And I think that's why the scriptures warn us about being selfish with one another that way. Because I don't care how Christian you are, you still a man, you still a woman, you still have urges, you still have needs. Like my, you know, it would be horrible if you married to somebody that all of a sudden didn't care nothing about you because you got sick.
Yeah.
Your marriage ain't about nothing, no way. So you can come to any type of agreement within a marriage. But then again, I don't give this advice to single people.
Yeah.
Because when I was single, a woman said, I never had girlfriends, anything like that. Never lived with nobody like that, what have you. So no, I'm not going to contain myself if I'm single. No, no. I mean, when I was single, 7 o'clock. If I wanted it at 7 o'clock, and you don't want to do it at 7, let me know at 5 so I can make other arrangements.
Good Lord.
I like sex like working out. You go to the gym, you committed to that gym. Like women who talk about not tonight, but then you turn around, you going out with your friends, you having fun with everybody else. You don't seem to have a problem pleasing other people, but when it's time to please me, now you have a problem. Now I got a problem with you.
Good deal. Let me go to I was going to go to Monique. Monique, I'm coming to you next. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Badger, we're talking about two married people. They're married, husband and wife. They two becomes one, is what it said. Does that include the body? If she wants to, and you don't feel like you want to do anything, are you obligated to give her what she wants?
No.
Wow.
If she respects you as a human being and as your spouse, then she wouldn't expect you to do it. And he shouldn't do it either. Instead,
Now what?
you should have a.
What if it's been 3 weeks?
All I'd ask is what's going on. I don't let sex run my marriage. Sex is worthless to me. I'd rather make love to my wife.
Go ahead, Badger. Go ahead,
So
boy.
I'm not mentally and physically there, or she's not physically or mentally there. What, do we just want to come and just leave? And that's it?
Sometimes
is that all we're using each other for?
Sometimes people are that way. I understand exactly what you're saying. I understand
not,
exactly.
Not in my marriage. We don't do it just to do it.
Okay.
So I think that's also one of those things where it depends on if a person's a nympho or if they've misunderstood the Bible or something like that. Like to sit there and think that it's okay for someone to you're tied to do something because of marriage or something like that. You need to look up voluntary rape. Because in my opinion, in my viewpoint, there's something wrong.
Okay. Okay. I said I was gonna go to Monique next and Tiffany. I saw your hand, but Monique, what's on your heart? Sis, talk to me. Monique.
No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening right now.
Now you know this is radio, right? You know people on radio got to talk now. But okay, Tiffany, what's on your heart? You raise your hand.
I don't know who people are marrying because we in this Me Too type of world and stuff like that. You marry somebody, hopefully you marrying somebody that you're attracted to. You're marrying somebody that you want to have sex with. And if I want sex all the time, damn it, I should be able to have sex all the time. I desire my person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm attracted to my person. And it's not always physical. You should be attracted to your person when they're standing close to you. You should feel that energy between the two of you, that intimacy between the two of you. And you should like making love to your mate. And if that makes me a nympho, well, God damn it, I'm a nympho. Because I want to be married to somebody that I want to be with intimately.
Mm-hmm.
And he should, it's like drinking water. You need water to live. I need my man to live. And he wants me. I want him just as bad as he wants me. My goodness. We acting like we just old heathens or something like that. Like, be with your person. Love on your person. He may not want to all the time. He might just want to rub on you, touch on you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or kiss you or something like that. I mean, do it. I don't even know why a person wouldn't want to do it. I would have to question, and it doesn't make you a nympho because you want to be with your person all the time. It's not like you going out screwing everybody. You want to screw this person or make love to this person.
Sound like a fit. All I want to do is just a little bit, hug and squeeze just a little bit.
You know what?
That's one of my favorite songs by 50.
Yeah, Tucson, what's going on?
What's that sound effect?
What's that? They clapping?
Yeah.
That's Tiffany. That's Tiffany, bro. That's Tiffany. Hey, look here. We got to mute her line for a minute, bro, because there's some stuff going on over there. That was clear. She, you know,
Bang.
Made you wonder what it was, ain't it?
No, I wasn't wondering.
Uh-oh.
I bet you that, man.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Well, see, I'm take it back to pretty much where I think you were trying to concentrate it on. See, we actually, you know, we do live in a hypothetical world, and then we also understand that when we have these conversations, you got to, you know, realize that there's going to be different contexts.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just can't make a one-size-fit-all opinion.
Exactly.
Because there are different situations that in reality do exist.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Beyonce marry Jay-Z. We done seen plenty of women marry men that they probably wouldn't have married had they not had certain things or certain that they could provide, or they wasn't in a certain position. I think I saw an article the other day about all these black soccer players from overseas marrying white women, and then when they retire or quit, the white women leave them like Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, sometimes people do get married for the wrong reason. And when you do get married, there's supposed to be a mutual agreement to form that union with all the understanding that you are obligated to not give your body parts to somebody else. You're obligated, and you're supposed to be dedicated to me. Means you're obligated to not have certain feelings and carry on with certain people the same way we do. And at the same time, if you do feel like having these situations, you want to have a little body talk, you want to make love or have sex, whatever you want to call it, you are obligated to do it with me only.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we could say, well, you know, it's hers. She do what she wants to with it. So is she obligated to be able to go and spread it around even though she married because it's hers?
Mm.
Is he obligated, or does he have that right to go after he went through the ceremony and got married? So like I said, man, there has to be some give and take and some really logic in everything. But here we go. We got this confusion because we have been so westernized that we think like caveman. We married, just give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you see now why the old women on the slave plantation used to go get them a mandingo. Because slave master took her for granted. Or maybe sometimes the women take a man for granted. So it ain't no foreplay, none of that stuff going on. Sooner or later it gets to a point where the other person on the receiving end had to put their foot down and say, well, you know what, man, I can't put up with this no more.
Yeah.
I ain't got to lay down with you, man. You just don't even kiss me or nothing. You just walk in and say, Ben, no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, I think the obligated part is probably being confused. You know what I'm saying? I think it's sort of tied into dedication, who you are supposed to be doing it with. Now, don't get me wrong, we do have a duty to fulfill each other's sexual needs and to be intimate with each other. So therefore, again, everything is a cookie. Go in and have these conversations and find out why this person has started feeling like they don't want to make love anymore.
Yeah.
You know what Badger said sounded good, but you got to understand she got to want to feel like she want to make love too.
Yeah.
And even after about a year of wanting to make love, if she decides she don't want to, guess what? You ain't gonna just be like no, oh well.
Exactly.
Something ain't right.
Something
I ain't just
on.
trying to bend you over. Well, bam, thank you, ma'am. Baby, I want to hold your hand, kiss on your neck, look in your eyes, take my time. I'm really trying to make love to you, and you don't even want to do that. You're begging, baby. How about we go to bed a little early? I don't feel romantic.
I'm looking at Housewives. I'm looking at Housewives of Atlanta. You know Housewives of Atlanta. Come on. Yeah. You know Housewives of Atlanta. Come on tonight.
I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it. See, that's one thing about it. I think that's what people getting confused at.
Yeah.
Well, if she obligated to do it, she should just lay there and do it because she don't feel like it. Well, like you said, only rapists like to get their jollies off and don't care how the woman feels.
Yeah.
I mean, when I hear about people raping women, I'm like, man, how could they do that, man? She don't even, that's a kick to me.
Yeah.
It's hearing her actually like what she's receiving.
Enjoy. Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, to see that she's being pleased and that she, that's a kick. So for a rapist to do it 9 times out of 10, he's not hearing that. He's in cries and stops and all kind of negative stuff. So imagine a husband doing that to his wife over and over again. Because she don't want to do it. It's still rape.
Exactly. Hey, Troy, you want to talk to me, sis? What's on your heart? Toya? Okay, Toya might have had to step away for a second. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Just listen, I had stepped away, so I'm not sure. Are you all still talking about the same thing?
Yes, sir.
And I think I heard some comments about raping someone.
Yeah, he was saying that.
What was that about?
He was saying it's still, even if she don't want to and you try to force yourself upon her, even though she's your wife, that's still rape.
Sex without consent is rape. That's plain and simple as that. It's not. It's like rape, or it's either rape or it's not. So I don't change the definition of rape for the conversation. So I don't understand what's the confusion. I think I heard Badger earlier mention something about voluntary rape. Really no such thing. White people came up with statutory rape for a particular reason. That was to give, it's basically consent. What is statutory rape? Even though the person consents or what have you, they're underage. Is that what that is for? Okay.
Yes, it is.
So that's what that one is for. That's the only other situation I can think of that is considered rape with consent. Is statutory rape. Now, because it's not that you sit there and you go back and forth and you struggle. It's when two people who love one another can work it out. The two people that don't love one another will separate eventually because there's no love there. So that's why that probably wouldn't work out as well. Because a lot of times people may say one thing and, they could be just lying to you. And like in this world of Me Too, this, that, or the other, well, I teach young men one of the things that protected me a lot is if you don't want to give it to me, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
And you better be very upfront and blatant about wanting to give it to me, or else I don't want it. There will be no, oh, I think I was raped. There will be no, oh, you forced me against my, no, because I didn't even talk to you about it. I didn't even mention it to you at all. You aggressed me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to be ready. So that's the way you protect yourself, young man. If she don't want to give it to you, don't press her about it. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
Move on. It's in your best interest to just move on. Don't try to negotiate about it. Don't get into this back and forth about it or what. No. Find someone who would like to do that with you, and you won't have these issues.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Tiffany, talk to me. But hold on, Tiffany. Hold on. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Sexual obligation. Are you obligated if your spouse, husband and wife, if she wants it and you don't, or vice versa, are you obligated to have sex with your spouse, not your girlfriend or boyfriend, your spouse, even if you don't feel like it? Tiffany, talk to me.
I'm 48 years old. I'm single and I'm celibate. But when I get a husband, it's on like butter popcorn, and we're gonna talk about it beforehand. And so if he has medical issues to where he has ED and stuff like that, you need not apply because I'm getting it in. So if you unhealthy, you're not taking care of yourself, you got heart problems, you got, it's not wrong. You got diabetic problems, you taking medication that affects your ability.
That's mean.
It's not mean. It's not mean. Because if you're marrying somebody, you know what you want. And I know that I want to get it in.
You said do not apply.
Do not apply. If you got a weak willy, I don't want you. Because
I can 100% respect her for that.
Equal opportunity country.
Hey, Tiffany.
Yes, sir.
Bring that person on the camera.
Now he don't want to be on the camera. That's LB. That's LB, the owner of Big Soul Radio.
Hey, come on over here, brother. Come on, let me talk to you for a minute. Come here.
Come on over here. What you mean? You can do that. Look, listen. If we get together, right, and then you listen, and you become a
bring him down here. Bring him down here, Tiffany. Bring him down.
No.
Bring him down, Tiffany.
It's wrong.
Now, why is that wrong? Explain to me why that's wrong, brothers. Explain to me why.
If you truly love someone, it doesn't matter about that, because love is love. Because if you marry them and y'all getting it in, and all of a sudden he gets sick and he can't.
That's not what I said.
But
I didn't say
tell
that.
Tell me that if he does, cheating is not going to run across your mind.
No, it's not. See, there's a difference. If I get with you in the beginning and you got a little limp biscuit, then I don't want to be with you. But if we get together and then something happens along the way, then I'm gonna be a faithful woman and take care of you. But I'm not gonna go.
But you just
no,
said,
I did not.
You just said earlier there are other ways.
There are other ways, but I know what I want from my mate. So if I meet somebody today and we're going towards marriage, this is what I want to make love to my husband.
Hold on.
Every which way possible.
So you can't make.
Hold on. Hey, let me move. I gotta keep this thing rotated. But look, brother, don't go nowhere. We're gonna come back to you now because I want to hear what you got going on over there. But Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
Raheem.
Yes, sir.
Raheem.
Yes, come on.
Now listen now. I know growing up you had a couple bulldogs, couple pit bulls. I know you had a Doberman Pinscher and a Rottweiler. And why you just put that man in the doghouse like that, Raheem? You know better than that. You wouldn't do that Rottweiler like that.
No, that brother had a point, man. He had his point.
Pit bull like that.
He had his point, Curtis.
Why you gonna put that?
He had his point, man. He had his point. But Curtis, if there is some kind of health issues or different things of that sort, if there is some kind of health issues and because of those reasons, that person can't perform. Are you obligated as the spouse, as a good husband, to stay dedicated to that commitment, or can you venture out a little bit, take care of your needs, and then come back and bring that guilt with you?
No, I think that's something that needs to be discussed.
Mm-hmm.
We all seen oh man, what movie was that? Was that Stella? Stella got a groove back?
Mm-hmm.
Which one was that with Wesley Snipes?
No.
At the end, which one was that? What movie was that, man?
I don't know,
Classic
but
black film.
Because let's talk about what we're talking about, man. We ain't talking about no movie. Talk about what we're talking about, man. What's going on in what you gonna do in that situation? What you gonna do, man?
Talking about it's something that has to be discussed.
Mm-hmm.
If it's that sure, I'm gonna try and hold out as long as I can.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Because like, yo, for real, the issue ain't got nothing to do with my sex right now. That's the last thing from my mind, baby. You might be ready to check up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The other thing is I'm a forward thinker, so I'm thinking I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 since you just cut my daughter off. Hell,
hey,
once she get better, woo, buddy, it's gonna be some fireworks and some volcanoes erupting in here. You see what I'm saying? So like for me, you know, honestly, for me, man, if it's something medical, man, I'm sorry, man. You know what? Hold off. And if you're gonna do that, you know, let it be discussed. You know, let it be discussed. It's just like in the movie, Wesley Snipes' wife had cancer, and she started digging him. He like, look, man, you know, I'm married. And
He was waiting to exhale.
But,
waiting to exhale.
Yeah, wait. That's it. Waiting to exhale. And he told her like, yo, me and my wife is ill. She ready to die. I think she was ready to die. And she told him like, move on. We saw it happen in real time, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw it happen in real time, but nobody talked about it. You remember that guy that was running for vice president?
Yeah.
With John Kerry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But you know, nobody talked about it, and those that did, they kind of blasted like, you know, it's something wrong, but you don't know what that couple discussed in their bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you honestly don't know. You know what I mean? But if it's discussed, then you know, I mean, that's somewhere in the Bible, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody famous in the Bible is escaping me right now. His wife was old, so she told him, yeah, what was it, Hagar? She told him to take one of the younger servants.
One of the servant women. One of the servant women. Let's go.
Yes,
yeah. Toya with a T, you there? You back with us?
I am back.
Good deal. Good deal. What's on your heart, sis? What do you say about this? Because it's a lot of layers, and everybody gonna have their own opinion as to how they deal with or cope in this situation. Everybody's gonna have it. And then, like Rico said earlier, it's certainly not a cookie cutter answer to this situation. So what's on your heart?
Okay, what's the situation?
You're married, husband and wife. One of you got this real high sex drive, and the other one not so much. 3 weeks has gone by. And you be like, hey, baby, look at him now. Look at him now. Hey. What do? Do you step out, communicate? And if you do communicate and nothing happens, nothing changes, I mean, what does that leave you?
I mean, well, we all know the real answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
We all know the correct answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
We all know the right answer to that.
Absolutely.
But you do what you want to do. So now for me, again, at this age is different. You know what I'm saying? Understanding how the body is. Again, if there is no sexual activity, there's a problem. We need to find out what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So if we're having conversations, nothing is wrong, then we need to look at, you know, chemical imbalances and things like that. So there's always issues and problems. But let me speak from my perspective. Why you ain't getting none from me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of y'all think y'all doing what the hell y'all supposed to. Excuse me. Some of y'all think y'all be doing what y'all supposed to, and y'all be right, and y'all don't be right. And you don't deserve to get none. You done got on my nerves. And I done told you the problem year after year, month after month. And you still did what you wanted to do. You didn't take any of my feelings for consideration. You didn't listen to me when I cried out to you that something is wrong. You continued to do what you wanted to do and just totally neglected how I felt about you. So now I got to a point to, you know what? I love you, but I can't stand you. I sure don't want to have sex with you because you don't listen. There's been some issues I've been trying to tell you, and you ain't been paying attention. Whether it's been you've been slipping on your game, whether it's been we ain't been doing date night, or whether you simply just got a mentality that we're okay with just one car and there's two of us with two jobs and two different directions. You idiot. That's just not my cup of tea. So for me personally, toying with the tea, if you ain't getting up from me, that means you ain't on your job. And I tried to tell you, and you ain't listening, and you ain't getting it, and you ain't working me laying on my back, looking at the sky when we got money out here to get and dreams to go run after and create. So it can be a lot of different layers, but I'm just telling you for me and my perspective, because people do it for different things. People, you listen, you can give someone everything. You can be good, you can be sweet, you can kiss them on the forehead, you can give them money, you can do all that. And they still ain't gonna give you none simply because they don't like you, because they're manipulated, because they're a user. And you know that and you see that, but you just don't want to get it. So it's just different reasons and issues. At the end of the day, X is a natural attraction. And if something is happening where you're not getting it, you need to be getting to the root of the problem and stop acting like you don't know what's going on if you're not getting none.
Good deal. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
Toussaint. Lord, ooh, tell you. God have mercy. Let me kind of get out of my box for a minute and be serious for a minute. Equally yoked is the key. Because a lot of times we don't find out who we are with prior to getting with them. And then when we find out who we have, it's a mystery. And then there's a fallout. Most of the time, in these days, and Toya, I don't mean any harm, I really don't. But most of the time, well, let me say it a different way. We have a world full of people that are trying to get it and ain't getting none. And I don't know about nobody else. I love Jesus. I'm just saying. Okay?
Okay.
But I know a world of powerful women of God, and they single. Because they spend so much time loving, and there's nothing wrong with it. Listen to me what I'm saying, and I'm trying to be quick as I possibly can. We should love God with all our heart, mind, and soul.
Come on.
Hear what I'm saying. But if you got a husband and you loving on God and ain't loving on him, you about to be single.
Wow.
And you wonder why he ain't talking. And there's successful women, beautiful, wonderful. Oh boy, they got some women. Boy, you want to.
Okay, Toussaint. We get it, Toussaint. You about to
drink their bathwater.
Look at Toussaint. I don't know where you.
Give me one. Give me 45 more seconds.
Okay.
You want to drink their bathwater, but they're trying to be so successful that they don't have time to be compassionate with anybody. And look, honey, dear, love, whatever you want. But honey, if I love Jesus and I love to get mine, and I want to be able to pay the bill. But when time before I go to bed and before I go to work, if something don't happen, I got a problem.
Hey, Leonard. Toussaint was about to go on and dive into deep water. Boy, you want to drink that bath water? They look so. I said, oh, hold on, let me. Brother about to go in, brother. He about to go way on deep end.
He's talking about. I think I was talking with someone before, and it was from definitely from a Christian perspective, as it relates to a mate and a woman and things like that. And he was thinking about marriage and things like that. And he says, well, the woman I marry is going to have to understand that my church come first. I said, well, then don't get married, because your church don't become before your wife. I don't care what they doing at church. It ain't as important as what you're supposed to be doing at home.
Exactly.
And this is why Paul made this notion. See, if you burning, then this may not be for you. But if you can be content, do that. He was content with what he did. And so I don't have a problem with women who have chosen working for Christ above men. I don't have a problem with that at all. That's why they shouldn't be married. That's why they should not be married if they are that committed to Christ. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, so if I know people that go to church, they just church people, that's what they do. And they're doing it because if they're Christian, they're trying to stay about positive things, doing Christian things, Christian friends, Christian environments, and things like that. I do understand. That is completely acceptable. But you don't put a church before your spouse. And those types of things. Nobody negotiating about that. It's within that person's marriage that they decide how they're going to live. Now, I don't have much counsel for single people on that matter. But if you're in a relationship and you're married, you took vows. This was the whole purpose of holy matrimony and things. That's why you went before the altar. It's because of the vow that you take. You don't take a vow at the courthouse. You just get married. But when you take holy matrimony, that's different. It's a lot more commitment that comes with that. So people have to understand that there's a huge difference. And you don't bind yourself to someone that would bind you in such a way. I don't even understand how people stay in relationships where they're not happy, really.
They do it all the time.
That has to be problematic. So, and people giving advice about this, you don't know that person or the agreements that they may have had. Like, one, you have to have nothing but respect for what Tiffany is saying, because she's telling you this up front.
Out the gate.
Why mislead her, marry her, and you simply don't meet the criteria? This is assuming that you are having sex before marriage as well.
That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Are you obligated? I'm gonna break the question down. Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? Rico, talk to me, brother.
I had to get off mute for a second, man. This conversation could go so many different ways, man. And we have to understand that there's a lot of twists and turns that can go with this.
Yes.
And it should be understood before you get married. But the thing is do people really know what a marriage is supposed to consist of, or why they should really be getting married? Because we know for a fact now that people get married for the wrong reason. All them young girls you helping to marry and had sex games with, now every last one of them disgusted. Even the ones that married them and got with them when they was in the 70s, when they was in the 1970s. They old now. They still talk about it like they young girls. It's so disgusting. But wait a minute. Why did you get with them? Why did you stay with them? He had people coming in sleeping with dogs. But the thing is people don't get me wrong, sex is important. Sex is very important. And that's the reason why you should have it understood before you get with a person, where they like to go and what they like to do. But at the same time, you have to understand that when you get married to this person, that might be the most important thing to them. And that's when you got a problem. See, me, I didn't even realize that was an important thing to me until I started thinking about all the time in the past how my penis got me in trouble. And how I ain't gonna even lie, I got children by the wrong women. And I ignored all kind of signs and red flags that let me know that this wasn't the type of woman I should be having children with. But I found another reason to not want to leave them hanging high and dry because that thing was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I could do it 3 or 4 times a day, every day if I could. And she could too. We both was nymphos.
Mm-hmm.
But then you know what happens with sex sometimes, especially when it ain't got no emotion or no feelings behind it. It dries up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets normal. It's just like driving your Lamborghini. After a while, it's just a car.
Mm-hmm.
Until somebody else lets you know, oh, you got a Bugatti. Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot that this is what I had. People take things for granted. But I want to sort of go back to that thing what Badger was talking about. Because, you know, we sometimes we quick to dismiss things, but really and truly we don't have the authority to do so. He says that about voluntary rape. I think what he means by that is that you have some wives that will go ahead and submit to avoid the threat of something even worse happening, like having your nose broken or having shots fired at you, all because this man said he got blue balls and he can't take it no more. You been holding out on me. Come out, pop, backhand. Well, before she started getting beat all up and having the children sit there and go through all that trauma, he and her get whooped on, and then still having it taken from her, she might as well lighten her load a little bit. So she's submitting. She don't feel like doing it, but if she don't do it, it's gonna get worse. You know, everybody talk about movies and they seen Ike and Turner and they can repeat it frame for frame, scene for scene, and then come back and say that voluntary rape don't exist. That woman was voluntarily raped plenty of times.
Absolutely.
I imagine if she could speak, she could tell you, yeah, voluntary rape does exist. So, I mean, you know, I see where Badger was coming from with that. Because there are situations, not just with a woman being encountering some violent criminal, random guy somewhere that's been stalking and following her. But I'm talking about those abusive households where the man raping everybody in the house. Everybody in the house. I ain't just talking about the daughters, I'm talking about the sons too. And then we ask, why don't they leave? Why did they stay? What? Well, they might be afraid that they're going to die in too. You know, we have seen instances of that. Exactly. It's hard to believe that a man can have that type of control over a woman or a family to the point where they have to run in fear and get help. But you see stories all the time of policemen letting people out of jail early and they're going back to kill the people that they were stalking at first. So this happens, man. You know, we, like I said, we just can't really generalize some of these opinions the way we do. Or dismiss other people's opinions, because where Badger was coming from with that, it is true that a woman can submit to doing something like that. We do. Black people do in America.
Good deal. Good deal.
We conform and submit.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? 508-924-3521. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I was just sitting here listening to everybody, because one of the reasons I said what I said is kind of a situation of what Rico was talking about. Is when a person has this thought, it's either against their belief, or it's against, or if they do something, man or woman, that their spouse disagrees with, it's this fear of them getting hurt or the children getting hurt if there are children involved. And some people will say, well, why didn't you just leave and all this other stuff, expecting a person to think like they do. Not everyone has the same kind of strength or willpower or things of that nature. So the physical body can react. That doesn't mean the heart and the mind is there. The body's going to react if there's enough stimulant, unless you have something wrong down there where it doesn't respond. So, and that's more of what I was hinting at and aiming towards, because a lot, like the women I've come across a couple that literally told me, you know, in the beginning of our relationship, you know, my husband forced himself on me. And I'm like, well, isn't that rape? And they're like, well, no, I'm married to him. So I couldn't, so why report it? And I'm like, wait a minute. He forced himself on you and you did nothing? So, but I guess in today's society, we might as well just, view that as normal too with all the other stuff that's going on.
Exactly. Wow. Wow. Tiffany, what's on your heart, sis?
Hey, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
You know what Badger just said. In some states, and it's predominantly red states. In some states, you can't even find a doggone jury to even convict them. No jury gonna convict him. Ain't no prosecutor even gonna take the case.
But they feel the same way. They feel like it's okay to take it from her if she's your wife.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. He's absolutely right. I've heard a multitude of stories, and you know what? It's predominantly red states, but it happens in blue states. Listen, I'm from Baltimore. There's a town called Hagerstown in Cumberland. That's in Western Maryland. As you start to move to the western side of Maryland, it becomes more royal, more. I almost hate to say country, but it becomes more country, right? Man, some of the stories that I've heard from the kids, because a lot of those western areas in Maryland don't have the resources, right? So if a kid is kind of going off the deep end, they sending them to like a place called Shepherd Pratt or the Whitbourne Center, Arrow, things of that nature. But that's in Baltimore City. So it's almost like a interstate compact, right? So once you get those kids, then you be hearing some of the stories, right? There's no other way to connect what's going on but through incest.
Wow.
There's no other way. When you hear the story, or you hear the story and you do family sessions, and the mama can't stand the daddy. They don't have to say it. They'll never admit it to you that this child that came was an unwanted child because the daddy was basically taking it.
Wow.
Right? But if you sat there and observe good enough, you'll catch on to it like, oh, okay, here's what's going on.
Wow. Wow.
And then later on, as you establish a rapport with the kid, if the kid or the young man or the young lady really get close to you, you'll have a moment where they'll actually sit down and tell you.
Good deal. Good deal. And see, and that happens more often than not. That I'll have. Okay, somebody got some background noise going on. Everybody mute your line. Somebody got.
It's me because I'm in the restaurant.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Tiffany, what's on your heart?
So I have a question.
Okay.
You're married, right?
Yes.
It's the middle of the night, right? And he rolls over trying to get some, and you say, stop, because you sleepy. And you say, I gotta go to work in the morning. And he's still trying to get it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then you guys end up doing it. Is that considered rape?
No. I don't think. I'm just saying me. I don't think, because there was a point in a time where, though she did say yes, there was a point in time in their communication where she agreed. And once she agreed to do it, unless he forced himself. Now, if he forced himself, absolutely. If he forced himself, but if he didn't force himself on her, go ahead.
Okay, so because we are grown in this room, and I won't be graphic, but say somebody wakes up and they're doing stuff to the person, and the person wakes up. You know what I'm saying? In the middle, this is in the middle of the night type of situation.
Yeah.
Would you consider that rape?
No. Me, I don't. I could be totally wrong. I don't. And we're talking about two married people, and so my thing is, if he's I'm trying not to be too graphic myself. If he's performing all activities on her, and she wake up and she don't stop or say stop or anything like that, and she just continue with it, no, I don't think that is. I don't think so. Again, anybody else have a different opinion on it? I could be wrong. Monique, what do you say to that?
I agree with you. I agree with you, Raheem. I agree with you, man, because there probably will be a situation. Well, first off, she said the reason why is because she got to go to work. So maybe she would if she didn't have to go to work.
Yeah.
But now the thing is if she go ahead and just, fall into his coercion or his persuasion, it's like, well, I want to, but dang, I got to go to work. So, it's about the way she responds.
Yeah.
Man, she wake up and say, you did it anyway. What's all this on my back? Oh, baby, you know what I'm saying? You were asleep. And man, it was ready. And you know what I'm saying? You was ready too. And you know what I'm saying? You don't even remember nothing. You don't remember, man, no. Uh-oh. Guess what you did?
Yep. Took it. We got hold on, we got not just Bishop, but who is it? Linda, who is it?
This would be the good Bishop Gregory Adams.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Good morning to everyone.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. We talked about that topic. I told you we was going to talk about it today. Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? If you're not in the mood and she's in the mood and she's in the mood all the time, you say, God dang on it. Ain't no machine now, woman. I ain't no machine now. But she still want it. Are you obligated to have sex with her every time she want to have sex? What do you say to that?
Well, the first question I'll ask, are we going to be real? Or are we going to, tiptoe around the subject of reality? I'm not going to give Greg's views and opinion. I would have to give the Bible. And that's why I keep it 100% when I say it just like it is. A woman that has a husband, man that has a wife, there are obligations to that relationship. And the book begins to tell us not to defraud one another. Unless you're going to be fasting and praying, he's already a sex addict or she's a sex addict. And I know there are times when you're not feeling well, so the thing said, babe, I don't feel good tonight. He should respect you enough, or she should respect him enough, not to try to have, sexual intercourse during this time. But like I tell the church and I tell it on here, now, you done had a headache all week. Now, you better get yourself some BT powder or some stand back so we can get back so we can get busy. Because I can't keep going right here a whole 2 or 3 weeks talking about you got a headache.
Get some stand back or some get back. Okay, I got you. Okay. Okay.
That's why he's the good Bishop Gregory Adams.
Yes, sir. He said you better get some good BC powder, some stand back or some get back. Okay.
No, you can stand back, BC powder, so you can get back, because we got some business happening.
Oh,
amen.
Everybody wants to just about cry rape. I told him to stop. When you got married, you said you will and you do. So now all of a sudden, I don't know what's going on. Now you don't want to do anything. Reality, I have a friend who married a lady, and she messed around and had a baby by him, and then they were doing it all the time. Then she had the baby number 2, and she locked it up. So he was very patient. I take my hat off to him. I'm gonna be honest now. She 2 years.
Woo.
2 years laying on the bed with this woman and his wife, not having sex. So after 2 years, he's like, what's going on? I mean, I'm talking to him, trying to figure out, what? Am I not attracted to you anymore? Talk to me so I can know. And she's like, I'm just not giving you anymore. You done gave me these 2 babies. I don't want sex anymore. Well, since we talking about rape, he didn't touch her. He didn't take it. But what is he supposed to do now? He's a man. He has a drive. Is he going to now use the word, I'm going to be celibate now with a wife? When you married her, she wanted to, you didn't marry her to let her stay a virgin. You married her so she can be able to satisfy your needs. Oh, it's gonna get deep right here, brother.
I'm with you when you're right, Bishop. Preach.
When you're in the book of Genesis, God said it was not good for man to be alone. And he made him a helpmeet. He said, every creature got a helpmeet except for man. The bull has the cow. The bullhog has the Sioux. Every creature got a helpmeet. So what he made a helpmeet for was to facilitate the physical needs of him. So that he wouldn't be out there messing with the sheep or playing with himself. So, boom, here's a woman. Now you have your way. Now all of a sudden everybody has become liberated. Oh, no, it's my body. It's mine. I can do what I want to do. You know, if I want to give it to you, I want to give it to you. Well, let's get a divorce so I can find somebody that will.
Thank you. Amen. Amen, preacher. Amen, preacher.
Let me say this right here, because I like to deal with both sides of the coin, and I know Bishop, and I know he did not mean it in this way, but some people would take what you just said, excuse me, and they would say that, so basically what you're saying is a woman was made just to be a tool, and they will try and misconstrue. So for all y'all people out there that may have that thought, that's not what he meant. That's not what he was saying at all. So I'm gonna go ahead on it.
Right?
Yeah.
I appreciate you doing that. But let me tell you something, man. That's our problem. We always want to push the foot around and sugarcoat stuff. Oh, I tell the truth, man. I'm not scared. And I appreciate you trying to clarify. Oh, but I can speak for myself, bro.
Okay.
I meant what I said. And no, I ain't said she's a tool. She's a helpmeet. And she's designed to help meet the man's needs, physical and financial. That's it. Thank you. Great word. She's at a compliment here.
Okay.
Man, I was thinking
spiritually.
And I dated a whole bunch of girls. And I tell them like this, hey, look here. All right, this is what I want. You got what you got. Yeah, I'm here for you, baby. Anytime you want it. Bring me up. Now, I don't think it's fair that a wife or even a girlfriend, they got this man all excited. They got him all stirred up. They kissing. He woke her up. Well, they used to wake me up. But anyway, he wakes up for kissing all on him and get him all stimulated.
That happens too much for that.
Boom. Then you say, stop. What happened? What do that?
This a backslide. Mute the mic. This a backslide.
Don't deal with her no more.
I'm walking forward because you asked the question. Me, I was asleep. A man can cry right too. If she did X, Y, and Z and he was asleep, I'd get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So now all of a sudden, too, you said it was gonna be a hot topic. Let's make it hot. Let's not sugarcoat with the stuff, man. Because so many folks are find themselves in prison over a girlfriend or a wife saying he raped me. When there is an expectation in the relationship. Now, let me tell you, stop. I stop right then and there. But trust me, we're gonna have a serious conversation about this. Now, I will stop, and I tell anybody to stop, man. Just stop. She say stop. Don't keep going there. Just stop. However, there's a conversation about this decision as we move forward. Because if you don't want to be in this relationship with me and to meet my expectations or needs as my woman, then I need to find me somebody else that will.
Okay. Let me see.
I ain't got time for game.
Okay. And again, there's two. I always say it all the time. There's two sides to every coin. I'm gonna go. I know Toya and Rico has something to say on what you just said, but I want to get another call. I want to go to that caller first before I get to them. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we got a hot one going on this morning. I told you I said it was gonna be hot. Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? Now, one of y'all got to have a very high sex drive, and the other one, like I said earlier, not so much. And they want it all the time. Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse every time they want to have sex? Are you obligated, Cassandra?
See, this is one of the reasons why people need to do some serious conversations before they get married, because that's going to be a problem right there unless you can come to a happy medium. If he wants it all the time and you don't want it all the time, then that's going to cause a problem right there. So then all of these things need to be discussed. Okay, I mean, you ain't got to say, oh, we're going to do it 4 times a week or what. I'm not talking about that. But we need to know if he's OR, she is over, you know, she wanted more than you do, then you have to figure out, is this going to work? Because if you don't want to do it all the time, that's going to be a problem. And I feel like once you're married, you are obligated, but no one should be forced into doing. I don't give a damn how long we've been married. I don't care. No, you're not going to force me or make me have sex with you because we married. If it's a no, it's a no. And if there's a problem, then we need to figure it out. But I'm not just going to be doing it because you my husband and I don't want to do it. Hell no.
Cassandra, hey.
Hell no.
Cassandra, go on ahead on. You know where you going. Go on ahead on. Go on in that corner. Go on over there. I got some milk and cookies. Look, I got some milk and cookies over there for you. Go on over there, enjoy your milk and cookies. Enjoy your milk and cookies. Rico, you have something on your heart, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, that word compliment. You know, you got to find out if that person is your compliment before you get married. And then also, like I said, you know, to me, I had the same problem. I had sits too high up. Don't get me wrong, it is important, but I had it too much as a priority. And I didn't look at other things that went on that lets me know that this woman isn't willing to compromise. So you got to also be able to see in other ways that this person will communicate or compromise with you when y'all are interacting, besides with sex. Because these behaviors and these tactics, her way of life or his or her way of handling things, sooner or later will transfer to sex. So we'll get to a point where she starts using it as a bargain tool, and she won't compromise. He won't compromise. So that's why you're supposed to be able to have that understanding from the very beginning, but you got to go into that situation if you're considering marrying them with clearer eyes. You know, and I think most people, when they do get married, they get caught up in the fairy tale. Everything that feels good. They don't think about all the time they had to spoil her or they had to take his way. It was no way or the highway. They didn't think about all that. But little by little, it starts growing. And then we also got to realize, too, that both people might have had high sex drive, but this thing called life has issues and situations that will happen to you in the middle of it that could change up all of the way you feel. Menopause, erectile dysfunction, so many different things. Age, period. It can change up some things for one person and the other one it doesn't change up. You know, most women in menopause, but some men are still in their stride. That woman, when she hit that menopause and had that hysterectomy, a lot of stuff changes for her. They're not really, you know, sexually active as they once were. But this man still running around here saying he getting blue ball every day. So, I mean, you know, man, it just has to be some understanding and compromise about who you get with. And then you might not mind it. You know, I'm like Bishop. My last son, I promise, I think my last son was conceived on me being awakened during sex. And I was sloppy drunk. I'm telling you, when I laid down, I was drunk. That when I did wake up in the middle of it, when I first started, you know, getting the cobwebs out, I actually thought that my girlfriend was watching a porn. She was doing all the talking though. I thought it was on TV. I was like, what's going on? And little by little, I woke up and realized that she's stopping me. Having a field day. Didn't need my participation. I didn't have to say that. Just having all the conversation in the world she wanted to. And I didn't mind. I joined in. Once I woke up and realized what was going on, I went ahead and gave her a little help. But in some cases, it might be somebody jump on top of you that you don't want, that you wouldn't attract to. Or maybe you just mad at them and you can't stand them and y'all married. Maybe you ready to divorce them. Y'all on bad terms. You don't want to be with them, but they want to be with you and they jump on top of you like that. So it might not be received the same way. So that compromise and understanding and reasoning behind why this person is saying no would be important. Like I said, if somebody rolled over in the middle of the night and did it, it got to be a certain reason why the woman said she wouldn't. In certain situations, if you did it anyway, it would be wrong. And then in other situations, you did it, it wouldn't be a big thing. Because she did like it and she wanted it. She just didn't want to because she didn't want to be late for work.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? Toy, you want to tell you have something on your heart. What's on your heart, sis?
So listen. So no, we're not talking about, oh, somebody's just going to tease you and get you all excited and get some. That's not the case. Come on now. That's the case. And that's not right. That's not what we're talking about. I need this to be realistic here, y'all. I love y'all, but I need this to be for real. Rico made a very valid point. If I don't want to give you none, it's a problem. If you a headache kind of man, and you've been a headache 20 years, then you might not get none in year number 20, like you did number 1. It's a lot of factors into this. So you're right. I don't think it's fair that a woman's going to get you all juiced up and tease you and say, oh, you ain't going to get none because you're my husband and you my have to. No. That's not what we're talking about. We're really talking about getting to the root of the problem. And if two people are not sexually active, we need to really figure out the problem. But this is my thing. Okay, so the expectation for the woman, okay, I give you sex every day, right? So now here we come. You can't work. Something happened to you detrimental. You can't work. So you're supposed to be a provider. So now that means I get to make a notion because you can't be a provider no more. I don't want to take care of you. Yeah, well, we used to have sex. We used to do this. We used to do that. But now you can't do this no more. So now because you can't meet the requirements anymore, like you just said, I can't meet the requirements to have sex with you. You can't meet the requirements of being a provider. So they give me free game to say, oh, well, you can't abide by the laws of what God says you're supposed to do. I need to go get me another husband. No. Let me tell you something about when I love my man. Because I love you no matter what. And if anything happens to you, I'm going to hold you down, sex or not. If you don't want to have sex with me, baby, that means it's a problem. What I do, let me try to fix it. Because something along the way ain't working right if you don't want me. Because I'm going to make sure I hold it down. Let's talk about real circumstances where two individuals are doing what they're supposed to do. Because oftentimes when one person don't want the other, somebody's slacking. Believe that. Now, there may be some extreme circumstances where you got some manipulators and some users who think they playboys or players or playgirls or players and, I just got it going on. But for the most part, if somebody, it could be the man not wanting to have sex with the woman. Because you know what? How many years of working 12 hours a day, you coming home, she ain't cooked, she ain't clean, she ain't did nothing. She ain't met none of her other standards but the sex standard. You get sex every day, but she don't cook, she don't clean, she don't want to do nothing. She always begging for money. She barely works, but you get sex every day because that's what she's supposed to do. How many years you gonna keep doing that before it get old? So I needed to get back on focus, please. When it comes to picking you a queen, sex is nothing. Sex is just a hole with a face on it. Wow. You better get you somebody who's gonna hold you down, who's gonna be the other half of who you are. Who's gonna make sure that the same way you out there grinding, the same way I'm gonna be out here cooking the bacon, baby. You go ahead and
okay, Toy, you must hit the doggone she hit the wrong button and hung up. Lord Jesus. She was ready to go in, so she was ready to shift gears, but I don't know what happened, man. Hopefully she gonna call back in. But let me go. Badger said you had something on his heart, and we got guidance for this as well. I want to touch on her. But Badger, what's on your heart?
Wow, some of the things that's being said. Sometimes after a woman gives birth, they deal with depression. I think it's postpartum depression.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's like undiagnosed and all kinds of stuff. It messes with their mental. And it's hard for them to say what's wrong because sometimes they don't know what's wrong. There's times where, in mine and my wife's relationship, with my spine, dealing with constant pinching nerves and things like that. Do I want to? Sure. Do we spend a month, 2 months, 3 months not doing anything? At times, yeah, because my back is so jacked up. So I just have a really hard time with some things that get said because every human being ends up with trials. or test or whatever a person wants to view it as. Maybe a person, you experiencing something like that, is to give you a tool to help someone else that's going to be coming down your path later on. So it's, I guess that's one of my clashes that I run into when it comes to people using the Bible. Because sometimes it can sound like or come across as, you know, you have to do this because of blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, wait, so God's going to tell me that I have to have sex with my wife, or my wife has to have sex with me, irregardless of mental or physical, because we're married? Now, unless the other person clarifies and goes into way more detail, you know, it can come across pretty harsh. So, and the other part is, you know, I know it says that in the Bible, but I wonder if Jesus would have told me that. So
let's go.
It's
go ahead, man. No. Go ahead. Finish your thought, brother.
Because in today's society, all I see is sex, drugs, and alcohol everywhere. And it just seems like, to me, sex without love is just penetration. There's no connection. There's no emotions other than the typical stimulant you get from getting your G spots hit. You know, that's physical. Where's your heart at in all of that?
Okay, good deal. Tiffany, I see your hand. What's on your heart, sis? Unmute. There you go.
I'm working, so I'm trying to do. I could have swore that this conversation was about marriage, you know. So if it's about marriage, then I'm not disregarding what they're saying, but in a marriage, there's certain things that you should be doing with your spouse. Like if you with somebody that you don't, first of all, if you look at couples that been together 40, 50, 60 years, my parents been together 49 years, because I'll be 49 this year. They've been together 49 years, right? There were times where they talked about getting divorced in their 20s. There's times where they didn't like each other, blah, 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 blah. But my father never moved out. And all these years later, they the best of friends. They work through their issues. There's going to be times when you don't like your partner. There's going to be times when you don't, you know, you're not in love or whatever. The butterflies go away, which you shouldn't have had butterflies in the first place, because that was a sign that it wasn't going to work anyway. But anywho, life happens, but you still, if
you're muted again some kind of way, Tiffany.
How can you not please your spouse, but then expect them not to go elsewhere? Like, you got with somebody so you can do all things with that person. If you get with somebody and they're not working or something, they lose their job, are you going to leave them because they lost their job and stuff like that? No, you're going to support them and stuff like that. But if you got with a sorry mofo and he wasn't working when you got with him and stuff like that, that's a totally different situation. But when it comes to sex, loving on your person and stuff like that, I mean, goodness, sex is a part of expressing love for a person. And you're married to this person, and some of the things that people are saying, they talking about these people like they sworn enemies and stuff like that. Then why are you married to them? If you're not happy with the person, leave. If you don't like that person so much that you don't even want to I don't know how anybody can even me. When I was married, I wasn't sexually attracted to my husband, but he was my husband. So if I'm gonna have sex, I gotta get it from him. You know what I'm saying? I got to get it from him because I'm not going to go out there and be with nobody else. So I got to figure out how I can get pleased in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Because just because I don't necessarily enjoy it with him, I still have to make it the best thing I can because that's all I got. That's my spouse. And I still have needs just because I'm needing, to dream a little bit more so I can have a good time with my husband. You know what I'm saying? But you still go ahead.
And let me ask this question because I'm listening to what you're saying, and to some ears, it could come off as if you're almost in a prison type situation. You almost because I though I say that, I also appreciate and can respect the fact that you said you're in a marriage and you're not gonna go out there and cheat and go against the marriage, the vows that you made. That part can definitely be appreciated. But is it also a situation where it could be like a prison where you could be held prisoner in that for that reason? Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Because I love the fact that she said she's married and she's going to honor her marriage and she's not gonna go out there and get it from nobody else. So if she's going to get it, she's gonna get it from her husband. That part have to be respected. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
You said Goddess was next. Did you want to go to Goddess?
No, Goddess is she has stepped off and then she just came back. So I'm gonna go back to her after you go. Go ahead, let me get you. I'll come back to her. She has stepped away for a minute.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't want to step in front of anybody. Marriage. Marriage was ordained by God. It's supposed to be, a beautiful and a mutual. Mutual. Can we say mutual?
Yes.
Mutual commitment to each other and taking care of each other's needs. My only thing is, yes, I believe that a woman should not. The only time you should really hold back from your mate, the Bible states it. In situations of fasting and praying, of course, we know during the woman's menstrual that type of thing, and I totally agree with that. But Badger said something that I appreciated him saying. He has health issues. A woman may be going through a health issue or a depression, and it's just not. It's not good for you to feel like, oh, I need to go step out because she ain't giving it to me because she's had surgery or whatever. Whatever the situation is. If a person loves you, they want to satisfy you. Let's make that clear. If you're in a marriage and your partner loves you, they want to satisfy you. So if something is happening where they're not doing that, then y'all need to talk and find out what is happening and how do we work through this so that we can get back to that part again and it be pleasurable for both people. But I'm definitely anti you doing it and you don't feel well or whatever just because no.
Wow. I knew this was gonna be deep. Didn't know it was gonna be exactly as deep as it is, but I definitely appreciate it. Say it again. Oh, we got another caller. Willa, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, Morning Glow crew. I was trying to talk before them kids got in the car because I didn't want them to, hear the conversation.
Okay. Are they in the
because it's more of an adult conversation.
Yeah. Are they in the car now? Are they in the car now?
Right.
Are they in the car now?
No.
Okay, good. Asking the question.
Okay, so I also got my cousin on the line. She's not gonna say anything, but I got her listening.
Okay.
But the question is that do you have sex with your spouse even though they don't want to?
Yeah. Are you obligated?
Just like the Sandra said.
Are you obligated to have sex? Are you obligated to have sex
right.
with your spouse? Absolutely. Go ahead.
Right. So I agree with what Cassandra said about what the Bible says, because if you want to read it yourself, you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 3 to 5. But I always like to go back to when I wasn't who I am now. So when I wasn't who I was now, I was married at 25. I was married at a young age, had my baby at 15. So just like I didn't really know anything about taking care of a baby, I really didn't know anything about really being married. Because my parents, the only thing we did was we saw, but they didn't talk. We wasn't taught those things that people should be taught now. You know, my parents was like an old fashioned, like a couple. You know, in all honesty, we didn't talk about sex, or we didn't talk about being married. You know, you saw what your mama did or your daddy did. So the flesh, to go back to where I know now, I know how weak the flesh is now. But as a younger person, I got married when I had came out of high school, almost going into college, and my husband, he wasn't raised by a man, so he was really controlling, should I say? So having sex was something that I had to do all the time, even when I didn't want to when I was younger, because I didn't understand. I didn't understand it. Even when I didn't want to, I did it because I just thought that was marriage. You understand what I was saying? But even though we were having sex, I found out he was still cheating on me. So it really didn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? But now I understand. I understand that I am not obligated if there's something going on with me. Because I think it was Rico that said it about the communication part. It's the communication part that keeps your marriage where it should be. If I'm not feeling well, if something's going on with my body, instead of my husband trying to guess or fight a ghost, the important thing that I should be doing now is communicating to him. And then we have an understanding. We know what's going on with each other. Because just like something goes on with me, as we get older, things go on with me as well. Because if you think your husband is not having sex with you or attracted to you or something's going on, you think he's cheating. And that might not be the case. Absolutely. But he might be too embarrassed to say, you know what, I can't get it up no more. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how some men are. All men are not like that. But some men are like that. You know, go out, you know, because they just can't do it anymore. So sometimes they become depressed.
Wow.
So I'm not going to take a long time. I know I already took up enough time, but I just wanted to show both parts.
Absolutely.
Now I really understand what we can do to make our marriage better.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard.
Yay, Willa. Yay, Willa.
You got a cheerleading section, Willa. You got a cheerleading section. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
What you want, cuz? What you want?
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Man, I'm just listening. You know, I pretty much like, you know, to stay with the topic or what have you. But, you know, the people really need to examine their relationships if they living like this. You ain't come to some because you need to communicate. You got to talk about it. I'm all for the talking about it and things like that. But if it becomes too much of a burden, y'all gonna have to have another conversation. And I don't think that that's something that should be like men, like Miss Willa just said. When men get to a point where they can't do it no more, then what?
Yeah.
A woman will walk out of there and go sleep with somebody else in a heartbeat. Won't even think about it. And if you one of them type of brothers that need the Bible to get some booty, kill yourself.
God almighty.
Stop using the Bible for what you want to do and then making somebody else bow down to you. It ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. I can't even sit around I can't even stand people that would even use the Bible to justify it.
Wow.
Whatever it is they want to do. You got to have sex with me because the Bible says so. Wow. Really? That's how your relationship is? Pack your stuff, man.
Right.
Exactly.
Pack your stuff. You don't need to be with nobody causing you no type of disappointment, discomfort, or whatever over and over again. I don't even know why you want to be with me and don't want to lay with me that way. Well, I'm going to sit here and be miserable because you don't want to do it. Tell you what, 15 days on, 15 days off. Is that a good deal? I don't even care how you figure it out. I don't even care which 15 on, 15 off. How about that?
Maybe that sounds a good deal in February.
Let me know what I should expect. Let me know what I'm working with, what I'm dealing with. Give me a heads up. And like Badger said, you got some women with postpartum depression, and there's a lot of women go back to the 6-week checkup and be pregnant again.
Yep.
So everybody is kind of different about it, and there's no one thing that fits us all. However, there is a guideline that you can follow that makes things easier. You know, and this whole notion, you know, that this is why this Me Too movement and things struck a nerve with a lot of people. Okay, so now you got women being raped in their marriages. Then why they in them?
Wow. Hold right there, Leonard. Hold right there.
Forced marriage? What happened?
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? Are you obligated? God is good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, family. How are you doing?
You doing good, doing good. Look here, man. It's getting hot and heated in here. But are you obligated? Now, God is, if you, I'm gonna use you as, if you have a real high sex drive, you married, and your husband, yeah, if I do it twice a year, I'm good. And yeah. If I do it twice,
almost passed out.
She sure did.
Passed out. Right there, she almost had a coronary and stroke and passed out.
So how do you deal with that? Is he obligated to fulfill your needs, or vice versa? What do you say? Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse?
Well, first of all, you shouldn't get married just because of sex. I can say that. Okay, it should be a total package thing. But what I will say is, it's not a but to the marriage part. So that's what I'm saying. But what I will say is, if you get married and then there's some health issues, like I agree with Leonard, there's a rule thing. You know, there's not a rule, but there's a guideline. Yeah, there's a guideline. And if the fact that you just don't want to have, if you really just don't want to have sex, then there's a reason. And see, there's a lack of communication. And with that lack of communication, you all are falling apart anyway. Because when you're having sex with a husband and wife, you're spiritually bonding with each other. Now, and with that spiritual bond, it continues to grow. And you begin to learn and know what your spouse wants, how that person reacts to this. It's a whole spiritual thing, and you become one. You know, and I don't want to use the Bible as one, because I agree with him when he says that you don't use the Bible to make somebody want to do something. You know, and if you don't want to do it, then there's a reason. So either I gave you a reason to do it, or I haven't communicated with you the reason why I can't. Or you don't want to because you're over here somewhere else too. So it's based off of that communication. And it can get to a point where as a husband and wife, you know, now with me, if my husband can't do something like that, then we have to resort to different methods. You know, it doesn't mean that I have to go outside of the household to please myself. There's a whole lot of other methods that we can do. You know, if he cannot sexually get himself aroused to be able to handle the situation. But there's some other methods. But also, when you talk about sexual arousal, if a man is not sexually aroused by his woman and he's sexually aroused by another woman, then you ain't doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. Stay right there.
That's a major issue.
Good deal. Stay right there. Let me go around. Let me go to Tiffany. Tiffany, what's on your heart, sis? Tiffany?
I'm here. So, like I said, I'm giving it up. You know, if I get married again, I'm giving it up until I'm unable. You know what I'm saying? I believe in finding a way where there is no way. You know what I'm saying? My teeth fall out, I'll take my teeth out, whatever I got to do. you know what I'm saying? I'm taking care of my husband's needs because I feel like it's something that I should do. I feel like it's something that I want to do. You know, just because you're getting old, that don't mean you dead on life support unless you're just unhealthy, not taking care of yourself or whatever. But as long as my husband's able and I'm able, we getting it in. And I'm not using sex. I've never used sex as a weapon. Even when I didn't enjoy being with my husband, I still didn't use it. If he wanted it, he got it and he was happy with it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of women, they're unhappy. Like if the finances isn't right, that affects their sexual mood. If it, you know, certain things other than being loving your partner. If you love your partner, you should want to be with your partner. And if you letting all these factors affect you being intimate with your person, then maybe that's not the person you should be with.
And also, Raheem, I would like to add that one, there's an issue. There's an issue when someone is taking advantage of you. And if I give you whatever you want, whenever you want, but then when it's time for what I want, you got a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah, most definitely. If I'm giving you, doing everything you want me to do, why can't you do this thing I want you to do?
And you know what? As a woman, I know a lot of women personally. Their men are working. They live in the big houses. They got the nice cars. They go shopping every week. They got everything they want in life and more. And they don't feel like they have to give it up. So basically, you know what I'm saying? They don't. They're just the trophy wife, and they don't feel like they have to be with them. But they out there doing what they want to do with somebody else, and they got good men at home. So you know.
Orange Juice Jones said, don't you pick up that coat. He said, don't pick up that coat. The rain, y'all might, that's before y'all time. Y'all don't know about that. But Bishop, what's on your heart? Bishop, you there?
Yes, sir. I take the phone off mute.
Okay. What's on your heart?
And everybody's opinions are theirs, and this is how they may view it or see it as it relates to the marriage, and that's what we're going to deal with and still continue to deal with. We don't want to deviate. Tell me I dated this girl, so I say it just like this: whatever floats your boat, whatever you figure that you need to do to keep the spark in your relationship, that's what I encourage. Do I think that it's fair that a man or a woman who is not in their best physical shape at a certain time should be forced to have sex or, you know, put into a situation, I want it tonight? Well, I don't feel good. Okay. I'm going to be considerate towards your issues. I don't, what's going on? Your stomach hurt, your head hurt, what's going on? Let's talk about it so we can get a remedy. Not so much that we can have sex, but so that we can maybe rectify whatever problems you're facing or whatever illness you're dealing with. I think I forgot who said it was about, you know, not getting up anymore. And that's one of the things that do happen with the men, that they're ashamed to even admit that they're having erectile dysfunction. But at the end of the day, I married you. I married you to be a sex slave. I married you to be my wife, and I help me. And helping me is not just finances or advice. It's also this part right here, so I can get be relieved of this unnecessary stress that's in my body. Now, to agree with Leonard, I don't use the Bible as my cloak to do what I want to do and put anybody in bondage or force anybody to do anything. This is me and my wife have been together 42 years. We've been married 37 come June. I married her, she was 17. I was 21. And now I'm, you know, based on my age, I'm roughly about 4 years older than my wife. So everything about me is changing. And she is still the same. But we have an understanding that when I don't want to or don't feel it, she understands why, and vice versa. If I'm having sex, if she jump on me while I'm asleep, I'm not gonna say, get off me. I'm not gonna say you raped me. If I wake up, then we just gonna get it on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it's gonna be. And it goes the other way. If she sleep and those hormones get to kicking, and that rabbit spirit keep on me.
Let's get it on.
Oh Lord, what
Got
my
it.
mute button at?
Let me come in. Let me come in after this, cause I agree with what he's saying. But I say we always have to understand that in this life, that can always be a reason why you could justify saying like say for instance, when a woman is on her cycle, some women ain't gonna get down like that, some will. Some men ain't gonna get down like that, some will. This woman your wife just might be so horny this time that she might want to jump on you with all that flow. But to you, it makes your stomach hurt to even think about it. Imagining it will make something go dysfunctional. So, I mean, that might be a time when you might be ticked off. You wake up and she on top of you, and then you like it, and all of a sudden you look down, blood everywhere. That ain't cool. Now, to a certain extent, you might feel violated. See, that's what rape is, a violation. And sometimes we might feel violated that people did things against our wishes. So, I think what it really boils down to is we have to pay respect to the most powerful and the most natural factor that we tend to keep ignoring, and that's sexual attraction. You're going to have sex with who you sexually attracted to. Now, some people are only sexually attracted to a color. Some people are only sexually attracted to an organ. And then some people are sexually attracted to a person with an organ. They might just like certain size organs or certain shapes. But that sexual attraction is always going to pretty much play the most important part on if you are really willing to receive somebody else or embrace them. So, if a person is sexually attracted to you, it might not be rape. And the reason why I say it might not be rape, even though they may say no, you even hear women sometimes say, well, why did you stop? You told me to stop. You know what I meant.
No, I know what you said.
Well, wait a minute. You said stop, but you did sound like you didn't really mean it. So then you have some women, men too, that might come around. Oh, you think you slick, you had your shirt off. You came out in your birthday suit. Don't touch me right there. Stop. Why? Because if you keep on, I'm going to mess around and start. Well, that's a good thing. You might keep on going. And she might just go ahead and get weak and fall. And there it is. Y'all having a good old time. She said stop then. But what about the other times? When she didn't say stop because she might go ahead and do it and she don't want to be late. So, I mean, there's so many different reasons. You have to look at whether they should or they shouldn't. But to me, that obligation thing is more or less about being faithful, about being dedicated to that person. I agree with what Tiffany was saying, but it gets to a point where what if that man is going out, sleep, or say he work at a strip club or working somewhere, you don't know where he works. Maybe he works somewhere around women, or he got a lot of women co-workers, and he'll catch. And he's sleeping with them women. I'm pretty sure that you ain't gonna keep on giving that man what he wanted from you too, and that he out here putting babies in other women.
Exactly. Let me go to who I hadn't touched in a while. On Curtis, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Well, man,
get him, Leonard. Get him, Leonard.
I can't because I already had to almost go on mute because I was about to get belligerent.
Why y'all go and get belligerent on me? What I do?
Because you got us on the edge of suspense right now. You got us on the edge of suspense right now, Kurt.
Well, I'm saying.
I know you're a professional and you trained to do it. Come on now.
Let it leave me alone, man.
I got to mess with you, bro. I got to. It's Friday. I got to.
Exactly.
You know what? Honestly, brothers, we we have been talking about the physical. And see, for me, even for the most part, I'm mentally stimulated. Like if you can't mentally stimulate me, I'm not gonna get up anyway. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
If you have lost my mental stimulation, or you cannot perpetuate my mental stimulation, I'm not getting up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not interested. At the end of the day is gonna come that I am going to either go too quick, or you're gonna go too quick, or I'm gonna take too long, or you're gonna take too long, and we're gonna have to dialogue. So for me, for me,
Come
man,
on, soldier. Come on, soldier.
It's more to it, man, than just a physical thing. But I think everyone has a responsibility to be true and to do their best to stimulate their significant other. Now, I'm gonna say it again, selfishly, if my lady is infirm, I am thinking about, okay, if I do everything I was supposed to do, if I rub their feet, make that bath water, cook that food, clean this house, wash these clothes, if I do everything I'm supposed to do, when she get good enough to walk again, man, I'm in for a treat, brother. I'm taking.
You don't put in the work.
I'm in for a treat.
Good
so
deal.
I don't know, man. I've never really, me personally, I've never really had those kind of hang-ups. The where, oh, you don't want to give me none. I just, I love it. I enjoy it. I can live with it, but I can also live without it. I'm like Leonard. I ain't never in my life. I don't even remember asking for nothing.
Good deal.
And that's not to say, that's not to say, let me go and throw this disclaimer out here right here. I'm not saying I'm fine. I'm not saying I got all this money like that. I'm not saying that I can, I got I have those kind of skills. But I'm just saying I've never been, I've always felt like, listen, if I got to ask you for it, then that means I don't need it.
Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Are you obligated? Are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? Are you obligated? Cassandra, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to what I said before. There are certain situations where it might not be possible. Let me just throw this out there. There's two women in the last couple of months that I've dealt with. That one, her husband has not had sex with her for 2 years.
Woo.
2 years. 2 years. Two of them. They married. They sleeping in the same bed. Two of them. And Steve believes that it's because of erectile dysfunction, but every time she talks about it, he's like, well, I'm not going to no doctor because ain't nothing wrong with me, blah, 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 blah. But she knows because you touch, you know when there's something happening and when something ain't happening.
Yeah.
And he won't even acknowledge the fact and won't go to a doctor, which could fix. They could, they have stuff now. You got all kind of blue pill, purple pill, orange pill, whatever that you could fix that situation. So that's somebody that, he's too much in his feelings to think of what she's been going through for 2 years. She said it's torment. But she said she's not going to cheat, but she said it's torment, and I'm really getting tired of it. The other woman, now this one, y'all, I'm just saying, he only wants to have anal sex.
Oh.
She's uncomfortable with that. Ooh. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that right there because all kind of things started floating through my head when she said that, and that has been going on for like 5-6 years. And she said, I don't get it. She's like, she said, what man doesn't want Vivi? Who don't want the Vivi? But he don't want Vivi.
That's a logical answer.
I'm telling you. I know. We know the logical explanation. But you can't, I can't throw that out there to her because I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? If I knew something, then I could say something. But you can't tell a woman,
hey man,
something ain't right.
Something happening. But I'm just saying there are different circumstances why things are happening, but people need to communicate. That's the big thing right here. If you talk to your partner to find out what is wrong, but then after you talk, if they don't want to resolve it, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
If you don't want to go and go to the doctor and get the purple pill or whatever color it is.
Look, go. Walk out the door.
I tell you when he will go get that pill. Tell her hire a good yard man, a real nice looking yard man.
Leonard, boy, I tell you.
Put another bull on the field. See what happens.
Or bull, or bullette. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna ask you, you remember a video that was going around where men were being asked who they could talk to, and they were saying they didn't have nobody they could talk to?
Yeah.
Now imagine having to talk to somebody about that. And you can't even tell people about your other problems. This is a man thing, when we talk about having communication. A lot of women got to understand that men have been taught to just deal with stuff. It's like sometimes we realize that men don't open up. Then sometimes we forget. We'll say, well, y'all just need to communicate. Well, we still talking about these same men that have been taught to just lace up the bootstraps, toughen up and deal with it. We got to be tough. Don't cry. Don't go talk to nobody. Don't tell nobody your business. Just handle it. So, those situations come about. And so I was wondering, do people understand really, like what Cassandra was saying? It can get delicate, man. I mean, there are so many different avenues and factors that play a part in people not communicating. I can remember having an argument with a woman one time that told me that she said that it felt better. Well, no, it was better to fake it with a man, to stroke his ego. And I was telling her from a man's point of view, no, it ain't better. I said, you going to lose and he going to lose.
Yep.
I said, it's best for you to tell him what he's lacking at so he can try to do something better.
Exactly.
And so, it's just a matter of, sometimes we ain't going to be able to have no conversations. And then at other times, well, I ain't going to say we ain't going to be able to. We can. But it's obvious that some people are not going to have those conversations about having erectile dysfunction. But then at the same time, too, are they going to listen to the man when the man says, hey, you know what, I ain't turned on no more. There's certain things you're doing now that makes me not attracted to you.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Again, give us a call. We're asking the question today: are you obligated to have sex with your spouse? Badger, you wanted to say something, brother?
I got a few things to say.
Now, Badger, you can't say a few, man. Give me
I know
one.
I can't say a lot. So on the thing that was just brought up, well, is it better for that man to stay in that relationship as it is, and that woman just has to deal with it? Or can that man actually come out the closet if he does that swing that way? Because once again, we're getting into judgment. We're getting into you have to do this or have to do that, because if you do anything outside of that, it could be considered bad, wrong, evil. And to me, that's what I hear. I hear it all the time, but yet it doesn't seem like nobody wants to say it. Because on one side of the coin, you have to follow these set of rules. Yet if the situation is like one that was just shared about the man liking the anal more than anything else, or whatever reason it may be, well, here, well, you shouldn't have to do this, but hearing somebody say that, they had to get, or when they were married, they had to get, had to drink some so they could enjoy it. Wait, that's like getting really close to a fine line of, you're forcing yourself to do something because you think you're obligated. So like, at least to me, because of the experiences I've had of being raped and things like that, there's almost like this fine line of, well, as long as you do it up to this point, it's not this bad. And I'm like, this is what's wrong with society today, as it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to, if you're married, you don't have love for one, not true love for one another in all areas, and understanding and being responsible and communicating with one another. So you're going to stay with them, but to do something with them, you're going to get drunk. Oh, wait, instead of this person, he specifically likes anal and things like that. And the woman that's messing with her head, and they're not talking about it and going to family counseling and getting down to the root cause,
Yeah,
yet
it's not.
there's so much contradiction in my head of what's being said. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. And we actually got to get to our what would you do if section for a second in a minute or two. So we gotta cover that because I ain't no telling what we're gonna get today. But let me go to T. Toya, are you there? I saw you, Goddess. I'm coming to you. I saw you. Toya, you there? Toya with a T, are you there? Go ahead, Goddess.
Well, I want to go back to Cassandra's situation, because now we're talking about a health issue that could take place. Also, the fact about something mentally that could take place within that woman. So either some insecurities can come into play, on all levels and behalf. So that is not a healthy relationship at all.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she doesn't know how to use her for JJ, meaning the muscles, or some Kama Sutra situations. She needs to read that book. That could be a play. But the fact that that's all he wants, then there's some other issues that's going down.
Yeah, that's an issue.
And and
That's a
and it's
serious.
and it's a health. It's really a health situation,
Mm-hmm.
and that right there needs to be handled. And I just wanted to speak on that. And then so far, somebody taking something, no, you ain't taking nothing, and
Mm-hmm.
that is never a good situation. So
Mm-hmm. And see the thing about it, if the way I see it, if he want to play on the other team or something like that, man, leave that woman alone. Leave that woman alone, man. Cause yeah, there's so much.
or she needs to leave him alone, because she's gonna
Exactly.
have to make a decision. Because some things ain't of God. And
Mm-hmm.
Badger asked me. He said, "Is it better to if you want to be married and have sex, if you want something like that?" Badger, what was it that you said about marriage? And I gave you that Bible verse. Badger.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
Now y'all know,
Are folks married just for sex?
okay, but hold on. Y'all know y'all going in a totally different direction. Y'all got your own show going on right now. Y'all hold on for a second. Let me go to hold on. Tiffany, what's on your heart? Tiffany cannot find that mute button. It's right there. It's right there. The same way you.
I was on another screen, sir.
Okay.
I'm at the studio.
I got you.
Okay.
Talk to me. What's on your heart?
I don't want anybody thinking that I'm making light of it or anything, but I just feel like, today people get married for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, and most of the time it's not. Love has nothing to do with it unless it's love of money, love of security, and all that other stuff. And they want certain people to meet up to certain standards, and they don't have to, and vice versa. So, when it comes to sex, nobody should be violated, because many of us, including myself, I was molested by a female cousin when I was 6. Nobody should be violated sexually.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there has to be a lot of communication. And then if we're going to go to the Bible and say that we're going to be celibate until we get married and all that other stuff, that you don't know what you're going to get, because people will say whatever they want to say in order to get what it is they want. They meet a nice person, they like that person or whatever, they want to spend the rest of their life with them. If you're not having sex, you can have all the communication you want to have before marriage and stuff like that, and it can be all good. And then once you put that ring on it, find out that it's something totally different. So, that's why a lot of people want to drink some of the milk before they buy the cow, because, it's a trick bag. You just don't know. People want companionship. People want love. People don't want to be out here by themselves. And so they may or do things in order to get a person so they can be in a certain situation. But you have to be careful what you ask for. You pray to God for a man or a woman and stuff like that, and you want this specific man or a woman, then once you marry them, you got to take what comes with it.
Exactly. Now we're about to go into our what would you do if? What would you do if? And Rico. Rico, you there?
Yeah, I'm right there.
Okay, I'm gonna start off very light. But I hopefully it's gonna turn. Everybody gonna ask some tough questions. But I'm gonna start off with you, Rico. Can I ask you what would you do if?
Go right ahead.
Okay, what would you do if a young version, Janet Jackson, Halle Berry, and Angela Bassett were to step on your porch at the same time, and you only could select one? What would you do? Who would you select?
Janet. I'm going with Janet, just plain and simple.
Over Barry and Angela.
Yeah. I mean, all of them nice, but I've had when I was young and Janet was on Good Times, I want Janet Jackson, my girlfriend. So Janet Jackson has probably been one that people actually idolize longer. And so I could, like we have Jane Kennedy way back in the day at Foxy Brown. We have those people that we used to look at like that from a long time ago that they still never left our consciousness. But Janet Jackson just got a wholesomeness about her, and I would have to base that on knowing how she's carried herself and knowing everything that has gone on since then. Compared to Halle Berry. Halle Berry seems like she might be a little confused out here. She's just famous but confused. So now if it's just a one night stand, I mean, if I'm looking at it for the long haul, which, with them being three people of some type of esteem, yeah, I'm trying to make that a long haul thing. I'm trying to do something to make sure she keep coming back.
Yeah.
So for the long haul, I want Janet because she seems more stable. Now I can't say Angela Bassett isn't stable. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that Janet has probably been, the first one that people had a crush on, in my age category.
Okay. Now we got Leonard, we got Goddess, we have Tiffany, we have Badger. Let me see who all we got left on the phone lines here. We have Toya, Bishop, Curtis, and Willa. Who you select?
Let me go to I go to Bishop with this.
Bishop?
I go to Bishop with this.
Hold on, Bishop. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Rico want to ask you, what would you do if? Are you open to that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Rico.
Now, we have all been very sexually attracted to people before in our lives. And all of those people, 9 times out of 10, we probably lost sexual attraction. So this is sort of going back to the topic we were talking about. What would you do if you was married and you lost complete sexual attraction to your spouse for whatever reason? Maybe they don't like to bathe. They just like to take showers twice a week. And you lost sexual attraction. What would you do when they wanted to have sex?
Man, brother, that is a good question. It is so crazy. That's just one of the things I was just thinking about. When it comes down to making love or having sex with my mate, if she doesn't bathe or doesn't smell good, hey, boy, man, that connection right there, that's connection. What would I do if? Well, I would speak to her as it relates to her hygiene. And if she's not willing to facilitate my request, then I will just have to accept whatever she brings.
So you will still do it?
If she's taking a shower and not bathing, as long as her body is clean, I may be a freak about sitting in that tub and washing that, but at the end of the day,
if you don't get in there and range off, it's gonna be a problem. That's all I'm telling you.
You gotta get in there and range off.
I will hit you with a hose coming in the door. You gonna wash your nasty tail. That's it, dog. I'll wash it for you.
Lord, okay, Bishop. Who you going to, Bishop?
I'm going to Cassandra.
Cassandra, are you there? Cassandra? Let me see. Yeah, we did just we lost our Bishop.
I'm here.
Pick somebody else.
Is Cassandra gone?
Yeah, she's gone.
I pick somebody else.
Yes.
Well, this question will then now go to Leonard.
Okay, Leonard.
And I anticipate this.
Sure.
Leonard, Bishop want to ask you, what would you do if? Is it okay?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Bishop.
Leonard, what would you do if Condoleezza Rice invited you over and said she wanted to have a diplomatic conversation, but then she begins to touch you in areas that she shouldn't be? What would you do?
Well, I'll tell her that ain't called for, and I'll let her know I don't get down like that. But I would go to dinner because I love Condoleezza. I love Condoleezza Rice. Hate her politics. But I mean, I just always like Condoleezza Rice, but that's with anybody, you know. But I don't give you permission to put your hands on me.
Yeah.
That's very unwelcomed.
Good deal. Good deal.
I like that.
He's gonna be glad he didn't ask me that question, man.
So look, I'm not going another step further on that, Rico.
And that's because I'm married. That's because I'm married, by the way.
Good deal. Linda, who you select?
I would select Goddess.
Goddess. Leonard want to ask you, what would you do if? Are you open?
Yes.
Okay.
What
Leonard?
would you do if a rich man asked you to marry him, but you were not attracted to him?
Rich man. Rich. Real rich. Really rich. Filthy rich. Richer than rich.
Well, attraction goes a whole lot different, but if he has mental stimulation and we get along, and because attraction doesn't mean anything to me, and now I'm in my 50s, attraction was never a issue in my age. When I was younger, maybe so, but now that I know a lot more, I would marry him long as we had mental stimulation. We liked each other. We liked being around each other, and it wouldn't be really about his money. So money is a wonderful thing, and it's a positive thing, but he would have to at least be able to mentally stimulate me.
Okay. Good deal. And for people that just joined us, this is actually the part of the broadcast right here. We actually, on every Friday, we do we go around the panel and get everybody asks, so what would you do if question? And you select somebody. We can never select the same person twice. So we'll make sure everybody's in the rotation. And then once everybody's been selected, it's open game again. So guys, that's what we're doing right now. For the people that's just joining us, we're doing a what would you do if? I think it's a great thing that we do here, and I really appreciate it. And some of the things are very interesting. Goddess, who do you select?
I guess I'm gonna select you.
Oh Lord.
Okay. I'm gonna put a little Cassandra on you.
Okay, go ahead.
You've been married for what, 25, 35 years? How long?
25 years.
25 years. And your wife decided to say, I want to have sex, but I want to have anal sex with you. And if you don't do it, I'm ready for a divorce. What would you do?
Woo.
It's either batter or the catcher.
Well, he ain't the batter. She wants to have it with him.
What do you mean? She want to go on my backside? You saying she want to go on my backside?
Hey, y'all had it flipped around when people were going up in ours, so I had to flip it around.
Wait, look here. What do I sign them papers at? You ain't, that's an exit door. That's an exit door. That no, that ain't happening. That no. I'm going to tell you that ain't happening. I go ahead and tell you right now.
She might well call you boo boo.
Let's go ahead and divide this little stuff up. Let's go ahead and divide this little stuff up.
Exactly.
And go our separate ways.
Exactly. That ain't happening. That
was a good one.
Look, I was like, man, when you said it, Enrico, he clarified. I'm glad he clarified it. I might have answered that question wrong, but not understanding. No. That's an exit door. That was designed for exits. It wasn't designed for entrance. There ain't no entrance. Ain't no welcome to ain't no.
That was a good one,
though. That was good. That was good. But I'm gonna hit Tiffany Real.
I gotta go.
Okay, appreciate you, sis. Let me
yes, sir.
What would you do if for Tiffany Real? Okay, Tiffany. Donald Trump come to you, and he say, "Look at here, I got a check here, a blank check. I want you to write in that in that money section, $15 million. I'm gonna sign the check, and you write it out to yourself. But what you have to do is denounce everything that's black and all of your blackness and all of your black people. You have to denounce every one of them. You can never speak on this topic again. And as a matter of fact, you have to fully endorse me every time a microphone is in your face. You have to say something great about me as the ex-president and going forward as a human being. Now, this is the check. Oh yeah, I'm ready to sign it right now. What would you do?
I'm too black for that. I can't do that. I don't care who it was. I love my people. Right, wrong, never different. I'm too black for that.
Okay.
I'm not taking. I'm not taking the money. You know what I'm saying? I love my people, and then you have to think about people like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Solomon Northrop. You have to think about the people that were in the struggle, and they weren't getting paid to be in the struggle. They sacrificed their lives. They did everything for the love of their people. And I just can't, as much as my people get on my nerves sometimes, I would never go against them for nobody or no check.
Okay. Good deal. Let me tell you who you got left. Let me see. You have a Badger. You have who we got on the phone now? You got Toussaint. Rico been asked already. You have Toya. Bishop. Yeah, Bishop been asked already, and Curtis, Willa, and we have Kenneth. They say Kenneth Kidd. I don't know who that is, but they're with us. And Kenneth, I'm definitely glad having you with us as well. But Tiffany, who do you select? Toussaint. Tiffany, want to ask you, what would you do if? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Ain't no telling what you about to get, brother. Ain't no telling what you about to get.
I already know. The answer could be just as bad as the question.
There you go. Let's do it, Tiffany.
So, Toussaint, what would you do if the woman of your childhood dreams came to you and she is still fine as she was when you had the crush on her back in the day, and she took you out and then took you home for a nightcap and got butt naked? What would you do?
That's the question?
That's the question.
Well, you might well be married. We might well be married. I'm gonna ask for it. Wait a minute now. Hold on. I'm just gonna be honest now. Am I single?
Yeah, you
And
single?
first thing, if I'm, oh, I'm single.
Uh-huh.
Come on, Tucson. You dancing there? You dancing?
Sorry, Bishop. I'm just sorry, Bishop. We're not going to have prayer tonight.
But there might be some laying hands going on.
I'm just saying. Sorry, Rico.
Yeah, I am.
I'm just sorry, man. I just have to be. I'll have to go and say that famous scripture. Father, I have sinned.
Hey, or do like Bernie Mac. The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Lord.
I had to get out of contact.
Yes, sir.
What's the you said
huh? Okay, let me see who you got left.
No. Don't leave me. I want to ask the new guy. Is he there?
Kenneth Kidd, yes. Kenneth, are you there?
I've been here.
Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, brother?
I'm fine.
Doing well. And I want to thank you for joining us tonight. This morning. I definitely appreciate it, brother. Tucson, I want to ask you, what would you do if? Are you open for that?
Well, let's see.
Okay, Tucson.
Okay. So you are madly. You've been watching this person for a while, and you come to the point that you've had a few conversations and a few dates. And you finally get where it all thins out. What would you do if you found out that she was a hermaphrodite?
Ooh.
I plead the fifth.
I originally called to be a spectator, just sit back and listen. I didn't know this was the format, but I'm going to say this without hurting that person's feelings. And you said I've been watching her, so I had some sort of feelings for that person from afar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if that's the case, in order for me to find out that that's taking place, hopefully she would have told me. And if she did tell me, I would not, without hurting her feelings, tell her that I'm a straight individual, and if she was feeling me like I thought I was feeling, I'm not going to continue this this relationship from afar with me chasing her. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm gonna end that. So no, I'm not.
Okay.
I know what I like.
Exactly.
But let me say this, because I'm gonna go. Let me say this.
We didn't mean to run y'all, brother.
I lost my wife in 2017. We were in 4th grade together. Next month, I'll be 67.
Praise
so
God.
I met her when we was 10 years old. And we were together for 37 years. Praise I loved her like I've loved nobody else. Out of that union, we had one child, but we had 3 children all. When she and I eventually hooked up, she had 2 girls, and then we had a third child, a girl. So I'm still in grief therapy right now every Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Praying for you
and
too. Praying for you.
Thank you. And I take love serious. Not to say that I was perfect, but I miss her.
Yes, sir.
Very much. And I'm not ready for a relationship of no kind. And I can't ever see in myself remarry because it wouldn't be fair to the woman.
Yes.
Because I would constantly compare her to my wife. And I'm not ready to do that.
Yeah.
So rather miss. I need a companion, not a wife. So, and that means we can get together. We can talk on the phone. We can go out to get something to eat. We can go to movies. We can do whatever grown people do. But I'm not ready to remarry again. Absolutely. And I'll put that on the table. And if you're ready to deal with that, fine, we can go on. But other than that, I'm not going to mislead anybody. And I'm definitely not going to deal with somebody like that who don't fit into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna leave it like that. I hope I answered that question.
You did, and I'm gonna say this. I one of the part I love about what you said, several things that you said that was absolutely amazing to me. But when you said, if you feel for me, I felt for you, because that addressed a misrepresentation right there. That addressed a misrepresentation, because this person, obviously, when you was watching them from afar, did not acknowledge the fact that who they were. And you say, if you feel for me like I thought I felt for you.
Yes.
And so yeah,
well, they really didn't misrepresent themselves. They really he misperceived them. He thought he saw what he saw and didn't know. Yeah. Yes.
Wow. That's deep.
And Raheem, you see, sometimes we look at the outer appearance and we fall for that. But you see, most of the time, it's not what you get.
Exactly. Man, I wanted to wrap around. We started at 9:40. I think we started at 9:40, but I was gonna start at 9:30. But we don't ran out of time. It's 10:04. We got to get on out of here, man. Does anybody have any? What would you do that you want to address to anybody before we go? Anybody got anything for anybody before we get out of here? Good deal. Rico, what's going on at 3?
Hey, wait.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to. What if Tiffany?
Oh Lord. Boy, it's about to be another 4 hours.
Time. I ain't gonna fool with it.
Gonna be another 4 hours.
You run it. You got it. You started it. Finish it. Go ahead.
She challenging you, Tucson. She challenging you, brother.
So here's buff, handsome, sturdy guy, and he got it going on. And you finally get where you need to be, and boy, the fella got a noodle.
What you do?
I've been in situations like that. If he's a good dude and I like him, I'm gonna rock with him. Because for me, if he can stimulate my mind, he'll be able to stimulate my body too.
Good deal. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
Before I say that, man, I want to thank Kenneth for calling. Kenneth Key, is that what his name is, for calling in? Yeah. Because that was the most simple example of how sometimes you need to I don't even say sometimes, all the time you need to be patient and take your time to get to know what it is you're looking at, because first impressions could be a lot. First impressions could actually last 6 or 7 months if you don't do things properly. So it takes you a while, with the answer that he gave, it would take you a second or two to get to know somebody before they could just up and say, expose themselves as being a hermaphrodite. So, you know, that was big what he said, you know, or what the answer that he gave in that question was huge too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because right off the top of an initial perception of visuals, we will react, and that's how strong sexual attraction is. With that being said, if you missed today's show and would like to see it or hear it in its entirety, you can tune in at www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good deal. Willa, are you with us?
I'm with you, Raheem.
You know what time it is? You know what time it is?
I know what time it is.
Let's do it.
And that was Kenneth Kidd was my one of my best friends that I brought to the line.
Hey,
just to let you guys know.
Hey, definitely appreciate it. Keep bringing them, man. Cause I definitely appreciate Kenneth, and I hope he come back and join us again. I hope it's not. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 o'clock. Yeah, we get started at 7 o'clock, y'all. From 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock. And so, yes, Tiffany, every 7 o'clock. That's how we do this thing. So,
amen.
Absolutely. So, brother, Kid, Miss Kid, if you're available, come back and join us, brother. You're more than welcome to be a part of the family.
Amen.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Amen. Father God. Yes. Father God in heaven, Lord, we just thank you this morning. Father, we thank you for allowing us to get up, Lord. Get up to see another day that you made, Lord. And Father, we just thank you for all you do in our lives, oh Lord. Father, we love and honor you, oh Lord. Father, we had 10,000 tongues. We wouldn't have enough to say thank you, Lord. Father, help continually to guide us. Give us wisdom and understanding. Coming together as one, Lord. Being able to resolve those things that go on in our lives as a unity, Lord. Father, keep making this radio station a success. Touch Raheem and his family. Each and every last one that's on this line, Lord. Touch their hearts and open up their minds to the truth. Father, we love you, honor you, and glorify you this morning. In Christ Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. It's been a great broadcast. It's been a great week. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:09. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light of you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please be blessed.